1060 KGFX is proud to bring you coverage of area high school sports. To hear this broadcast online, log on to drgnews.com. Now, with the pregame, here's Brian Oakland.
And thank you very much. Thank you very much. A very good Thursday evening. Another night of high school football coming our way here. 1060 KGFX as we continue. Football coming our way here. 1060 KGFX as we continue to cover the South Dakota High School 9B playoffs featuring the top-seeded, top-ranked, undefeated Sully Buttes Chargers as they welcome the 8th seed tonight, the Kadoka area Cougars. Sully Buttes at 9-0. Kadoka area comes in at 5-4. Hello, once again, Brian Oakland with you. Jeff Duncan back in studio will keep us up and running, and more importantly, updated on other scores going on throughout the state tonight. Not just those games on the Dakota Radio Group, but we've got a lot of them in all 4 games in all 7 classes of high school football happening this evening. This is just one of 28 games that we'll try to keep you updated on throughout the night. Our coverage of 9B playoff football of Sully Buttes and Kadoka area is being made possible by Oahe Grain, also by the Corner, Sunrise Bank Dakota, Barber Chemical, Barber Farm Service of Oneida, by Stewart and Daughters, Fearless Grain Marketing, Colson Farms, the Blue Goose, Doctors Hermanson and Swenson Dental, Venture Communications by Wilbur Ellis, Oneida Electric and Cone Ag, and by Brett Spray Service and Bank West of Oneida. Tonight's game also sponsored in part by Fromm's Hardware Hank, People's Market, Discount Fuel of Kadoka, and by the Phillip Health Service. And also, you'll hear special announcements throughout this evening with the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Tonight's game also brought to you within the broadcast by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, by the Boyd Konzemius Agency, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, also by CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Lynn's Dakota Mart by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, also by Bauman Lumber and Wagner Auto in Pierre. The one place to go, reminding you to stay up to date with the scores of tonight's games. We'll give you the Wagner Auto scoreboard at the end of each of our quarter breaks in playoff football, again from Wagner Auto of Pierre. Sully Buttes is a team that's been all season, just had one goal on their mind, trying to get back to the Dakota Dome. They came up short to Coleman Egan last year. Sully Buttes has been undefeated. They've been number 1 ranked most of the season, even though they've got quite a number of new people in different spots this year, but everything has fallen into place, to say the least. Kadoka area on that out west, Western Great Plains Conference schedule, they had a 4-4 regular season. They pulled one of the upsets of the first round, though, maybe the upset of the first round, or at least the one that a lot of people looked at and were most surprised by. They went all the way to Hardin County, and people don't go to Hardin County in the first round of the playoffs and come away at winners, but Kadoka area did that last week. They defeated the Ranchers 12-8. Most impressively, they did it with a very much depleted lineup, a small lineup to begin with, and they only had 11 players, as we understand it, suiting up for that game. So hopefully they've got some people back and ready to go in this one tonight. Tonight's obviously not going to get any easier as they take on the number 1 seed and again the top-ranked Sully Buttes Chargers. We'll talk more about this one in just a little bit. We'll take our opening break, 2 minutes, and we'll come back. We'll take a look at all of the games that are going on in South Dakota tonight. We'll take a look at keys to success. We've got our starting lineups and plenty more still to come as we're just getting started. Week number 2 of the South Dakota postseason. High school football is coming your way on 1060 KGFX. We're on 107.1 FM in Pierre and Fort Pierre. We're on drgnews.com, and yes, we do have that live stream up and running. Subscribe to YouTube and see as well as hear this game through youtube.com and the KGFX channel. Back in 2 minutes as we bring you high school football in the postseason on KGFX.
Good luck, Chargers, from Oahe Grain Corporation in Oneida, your local independently owned and operated grain elevator. At home or in the field, find all the market information you need online at oahegraincorp.com. You can even get bid information by text. Oahe Grain, bringing the world's markets to local farmers with updates every day. For all your grain marketing needs, call Tim or Allen at Oahe Grain in Oneida today, 1-800-658-3654.
People's Market in Kadoka is your locally owned, associated wholesale grocery store in the Midwest. Stop in anytime to People's Market for all of your grocery items, including fresh-cut meats, produce, and cold beverages of your choice. Look for their weekly specials and new items throughout the store. People's Market in Kadoka has proudly served the community for over 70 years, and they wish the Kadoka Cougars good luck in all of their school activities.
With convenient mobile text banking from Sunrise Bank, it's easier than ever to manage your money right where you are. Using just your message feature on your mobile phone, you can quickly check your account balances and review your transaction history. See how easy it is to keep up with your finances on the go. Sunrise Bank Dakota is a proud sponsor of Sully Butte's athletics and activities and wish the Chargers good luck in today's competition. Sunrise Bank Dakota in Oneida, member FDIC.
At Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, they know farmers don't all have the same game plan. That's why they give farmers options, from what brand of seed they want to use to what features they want on their grain trailer. Barber Chemicals also provides custom spraying for ag chemicals and fertilizers, finding the best solution for your fields. Team up with the best. Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, a proud sponsor of Sully Butte Sports. Call 258-2708 or come see them under the big water tower south of Oneida.
Welcome back to Oneida, and what a night we've got. You thought last week was a nice night for high school football. Tonight, even better here in Oneida as the Chargers take on the Kadoka area Cougars. As we'll take a look at keys to success in a little bit, but let's take a quick look at all of the games going on in South Dakota tonight, starting in Class 9B, and we'll work our way forward. Some of these games are already underway, and we've got a couple of scores that have been rolling in. Here tonight, it's number 1 against number 8. Sully Butte's hosting Kadoka area. The winner of this game takes on the winner of the 4-5 game, which is underway in Faulkton tonight as the Burke Bulldogs Burke Cougars, I guess, take on the Faulkton Trojans. That is up north. And again, if Sully Butte's would win this game tonight, they'll host the winner of that game. If Kadoka happens to come out on top, then they would go to either Burke or Faulkton next week. Coleman Egan is the defending champion, but they're the 7th seed. They're at Colombe, who is still unbeaten. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff tonight, and just like last year on this very same night, Castlewood is out at Wall in the 6 versus 3 matchup. They'll start at 7 o'clock Central. Up north on KMLO FM, it's Timber Lake, the number 1 seed in 9A, as they're undefeated. They host New Underwood. That game is starting at 7 o'clock as well. Alcester Hudson, the 5 seed at number 4, Canastota Freeman at 7 o'clock. A game underway started at 6, and early on, Britton Hecla had a 14-0 lead over Corsica Stickney. Britton Hecla, the defending champion in Class 9A. Howard and Warner figures to be one of the better games of the night, 6 at 3, and that is at 7 o'clock in Warner this evening. In Class 9AA, top ranked is Woolsey Wessington, undefeated. They host Irene Wakanda. Could be a lot of points scored in that game. Starting at 7 o'clock in Woolsey. At 7 o'clock, Bonham will host Gregory. Gregory, the 2-time defending 9AA champions as well. We've got a game in 9AA on KPLO FM as the Kimball White Lake Wildcats are at Arlington Lake Preston. They'll kick off at about the same time we do at 7 o'clock. And another 7 o'clock kickoff has Webster area, the 6th seed, at undefeated Garrettson. In Class 11B, Aberdeen Roncalli is the 8th seed. They are at number 1 Canton. Canton's unbeaten. Winner is at Sioux Falls Christian, where they started the football season. And that'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff, the 5 versus 4. On Star 99 FM, Mobridge Pollock is at Bridgewater Emory Ethan. The Seahawks had a 7-0 lead in that game early on that started at 6 o'clock. And also starting at 6, Mount Vernon Plankinson hosting Lead Deadwood. And the Titans got a early 6-0 lead on the Gold Diggers in that one as well. In Class 11A, T area, the top seed, hosting number 8 Hot Springs. A game that started at 5 o'clock. Down in Mission, the Todd County Falcons hosting West Central, but the Trojans have a 35-0 lead at halftime in that game. 7 o'clock start with Madison hosting Del Rapids, and at 6 o'clock they had a kickoff of Dakota Dakota Valley entertaining St. Thomas More, who's making the cross-state trip. In 11AA, a game that started at 6 o'clock, and on River 92.7, the top-seeded Pierre Governors in 11AA already have a 21-0 lead over Spearfish before the end of the first quarter. If the Governors continue to go on in that one, they'll face either Mitchell or Brookings, who are playing in Brookings tonight, with a 7 o'clock kick. Sturgis is at Yankton tonight. Huron plays at Harrisburg. And in 11 AAA, what started at 4 o'clock, we'll try to get a score on this one. Should be final now. Sioux Falls Roosevelt played Aberdeen Central. That's followed at Howard Wood Field by Sioux Falls Washington hosting Watertown. Sioux Falls Lincoln is at McEnany Field at Sioux Falls O'Gorman in a game that kicked off at 6 o'clock. And another 6 o'clock start had Brandon Valley hosting Rapid City Central. Those are the games that are going on this evening. We should remind you also our broadcast of this playoff game is being authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. 2-minute timeout. Our pregame will continue. We'll take a look at keys to success and what it'll take for both teams to come out on top or at least play their best game tonight here in the high school postseason. Keys to success are next. This is high school postseason football on KGFX.
Virtually anything in your house or building that can run on electricity can run on propane. However, a propane-fueled home is less costly to operate than an electric home. Studies have shown that propane is cheaper, warmer, cleaner, safer, and more dependable than electric. Contact Stewart and Daughters in Oneida at 258-2647 today to learn more about the benefits of propane. Stewart and Daughters, a proud sponsor of high school sports and the Sully Buttes Chargers.
Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil are proud sponsors of the Kadoka Cougars and all of their school activities. Discount Fuel is open 24 hours a day and is located right off the interstate for your convenience. Discount Fuel has everything you need, like hot stuffed pizzas and an extensive line of hot foods, like chicken, burgers, and their famous gizzards. Owned and operated locally by Mark and Tammy Carlson, Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil have proudly served the Kadoka area since 1980, and they'd like to say thanks to their customers and friends. Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil.
Colson Farms of Blunt proudly sponsors this broadcast of the Sully Buttes Chargers. High school athletics and activities are about learning life values, such as perseverance, commitment, and teamwork. Success travels in the company of very hard work, and it shows with the Chargers. Colson Farms wishes the Sully Buttes athletes the best of luck in your competition. In for the win, Chargers.
The Blue Goose in Oneida is proud to be a sponsor of Sully Buttes High School and youth activities. The Sully Buttes Chargers' discipline and hard work shows on the field, on the court, and in their organizations. Best of luck to the Chargers in their competition tonight with more fans at the Blue Goose. Don't forget to stop at the Goose after the game. Meet your friends for a cold beverage and pizza. Everybody at the Blue Goose says good luck, Chargers. Touchdown, Chargers!
Being a small farmer has never been tougher.
Dan Wegmuller is a farmer and an American Family Insurance customer.
So it's good that American Family Insurance covers just what I need, because our dream is to become a century farm, a farm that's been in our family 100 years, and pass this life on to the next generation.
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Contact the Boyd Consemius Agency, Inc. in Pierre and Phillip.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Welcome back to Oneida as we continue our pregame show. And boy, a beautiful night as we've got high school football. We got a 61-degree game time temperature. It should stay in the 50s for most of the evening, and just an outstanding night. And again, last week we had a night in the 50s, and after about 3 weeks in a row of cold temperatures to close out the regular season. But everybody's enjoying, I think, and should be able to enjoy a nice weather night here. And you can see what a nice night it is if you happen to bring up our YouTube feed and the live stream that's up and running on this one. Again, subscribe to KGFX AM or KGFX 1060 at youtube.com, and you'll be able to see this game as well as hear it, and it will be available for rebroadcast as well once this game is over. I'm Brian Oakland with Jeff Duncan back in studio. It's time to take a look at the keys to success in this one. We did not speak with the head coaches tonight. We wanted to make sure we got everything set up and get going, and and be ready to go. But I think we've got a pretty good idea what to expect from both of these teams this evening. Of course, we've seen Sully Buttes a couple of times on KGFX. We've had Kadoka area on Dakota Radio Group games on KPLO at least once this season. But Kadoka area, I think we'll start with them and their head coach, Chad Eisenbraun. By the way, Keys to Success being brought to you by the Boyd Conzemius Agency of American Family Insurance in Pierre. For Kadoka area, a team that really made the long road trip last week, a very depleted lineup, and again, a roster that only begins with about 18 players on it. And I think that was one of the words that got around to us last week in Central South Dakota, and how impressive it was for them to dress 11 players and go up and defeat Harding County 12-8. Now, it's not your father's or your older brother's Harding County Rancher team, but still a team that went 7-1 this year in Kadoka area, a team that went 4-4, and they've played some pretty tough football as well. And you always know when you get some of these big West River kids that love to just hit and get tough with somebody. Sometimes, in that case, they pulled the upset, and that kind of could make Kadoka area a dangerous team. I tend to use what, I don't know, I'm almost making it a cliche anymore, but one of the most dangerous teams in high school sports is the team that has nothing to lose. And that would be, obviously, the underdog in this one tonight. Kadoka area taking on a number 1 ranked team in Sully Buttes, who has had all kinds of things falling into place this year, and for Sully Buttes, all in all, staying about 95% healthy over the course of the season. Obviously, we're not saying that here tonight about Kadoka area, and even looking at what their regular lineup shows, yes, they've got different players starting in different positions, and we'll look at the starting lineups in just a little bit. But what'll it take for Kadoka area to come out on top tonight, or at least stay with Sully Buttes with a chance to win this game come the fourth quarter, so to speak? I think, personally, Sully, obviously Kadoka area, we should say, has to make some plays on defense. They've got to get some takeaways. Obviously, we'll have to play some ball control on the offense, going to have to move those chains, but they're probably going to need some big plays, both on offense and maybe special teams as well. And they're going to have to use some speed and quickness and what if they have any, comparable to Sully Buttes to open those things up. So trying to keep it tight and give yourselves a chance to win in the end. Probably, in a nutshell, the main keys to success for Kadoka area, and of course every coach will say you got to take care of the football as well. And but again, for Kadoka area, if they can get some takeaways, not give any turnovers away, that's going to be the biggest key to success. And in addition to everything, they're probably going to have to play by far and away their best football game of the year. But Kadoka area is a team, and I know Coach Chad Eisenbraun. I've talked with him over the years several times, and I know he's going to have those kids ready to go here and up to the task to try and play their best game here against Sully Buttes tonight. Keys to success from the Boyd Conzemius Agency as we take a look at this from a Sully Buttes standpoint. Sully Buttes came in after a victory over Hitchcock-Tulare a week ago, 46-8. That was a team that they had a very easy first half against the first time they played this year. But a lot of people didn't really feel like playing. They kind of wish they didn't have to play Hitchcock-Tulare going into that first round, because that's a pretty tough, hard-nosed football team as well. I think what Sully Buttes did, what we saw last week, is they just played a ball control offense. They ran the football more often than maybe they normally would have with a talented thrower, even though Nick Whitler at the quarterback spot had a pretty good night throwing the football last week. Did complete 4 touchdown passes, actually, but didn't throw for an overabundance of yards. They got a lot of the damage done on the ground. Morris Hofer had a very good ball game, both running and receiving last week, and I kind of see Sully Buttes doing more of the same thing, just continuing to control the clock and move the chains as best they can. They will have a size advantage on the line of scrimmage, especially when they're on the offensive side, and look for Sully Buttes to just try to run clock. Maybe they'll try to get some big plays, but like last week, they didn't really need the big play to have success. And again, because they were able to move the chains and their time of possession, I'm sure, was quite a bit more than what Hitchcock-Tulare had. I think that's what Sully Buttes would be looking for. Now, with the Cougars in this game, the team that has nothing to lose, Sully Buttes obviously has everything to lose in this one. They're the team that everybody is hunting in South Dakota, Class 9B. So this is the team that if they feel any pressure at all to perform, well, don't give in to that pressure if you're a Sully Buttes Charger football player, and go out and just take care of your thing. Your job, I should say. Mark Steffner told us last week, read your keys, stick to your assignments, and if that's the case, I think Sully Buttes should come out on top here tonight as we talk about keys to success in our pregame, sponsored by the Boyd Conzemius Agency, American Family Insurance in Pierre. We'll hear from them, and we're back after another 2-minute timeout. Starting lineups will be next. High school football in the postseason, week number 2. This is the quarterfinal round coming up on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
First impressions mean a lot. A nice, healthy smile makes a great first impression. Dr. Pat Hermanson and Dr. Brent Swenson are masters of the healthy smile. They offer family dentistry in a warm, relaxed, patient-friendly office at 433 South Central in Pierre. New patients are always welcome. Call Dr. Pat Hermanson or Dr. Brent Swenson for an appointment at 224-5966, 224-5966, located at 433 South Central in Pierre. There's Thursday Night Lights, all of the weekend highlights too, but nothing beats Monday nights. With Monday Night Football on Venture High Def TV, you'll catch all the action this Monday, October 29th. Tune into ESPN Channel 21 as the New England Patriots head to Buffalo and take on the Bills at 7 o'clock. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for High Def TV service and more. 852-2224.
Everyone at Wilbur Ellis hopes that producers are looking forward to winter wheat seeding. If you're ready for pre-plant burn down or starter fertilizer for your wheat, contact Wilbur Ellis in Blunt, Highmore, or Miller. Delivery is available. Ask about fall prepay on fertilizer and seed with financing available. Wilbur Ellis specializes in soil sampling and can help you take advantage of variable rate seed and fertilizer with Ag Verdict. Wilbur Ellis, ideas to grow with. A proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Best of luck, Sully Buttes Chargers, in today's competition from Oneida Electric in Oneida. Give Oneida Electric a call for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. The summer heat can be sweltering, and we know how cold South Dakota winters can be. For year-round comfort and heating and cooling efficiency, an electric heat pump can save you money. Ask the folks at Oneida Electric about replacing your current system with an electric heat pump. Oneida Electric. Call them at 258-2555. Family-owned since 1949.
Back with more, and we continue in Oneida. Charger Field, Sully Buttes taking on Kadoka area. Again, welcome aboard. Brian Oakland with you as we take an updated look at some of the scores that are underway already. No games in 9B having gotten started. There is one game in 9A that is well underway, and just starting the second quarter, Britton Hecla already leading Corsica Stickney 30-6, and some pretty good games coming up in a pretty good 9A field. 9AA to me is loaded. Number 1 against number 8, Woolsey Wessington against Irene Wakanda, looking for a lot of points in that one. None of the 4 games, however, have gotten underway in 9AA yet. A couple of scores to pass along in 11B. Bridgewater Emery Ethan is leading Mobridge Pollock 20-6. That game is on Star 99, 99.5 FM on the Dakota Radio Group up north. And Mobridge Pollock is playing well, but they're playing a pretty good Seahawk team out of Bridgewater Emery Ethan. Mount Vernon Plankinson has an 18-0 lead as well over Lee Deadwood in what will be getting to the second quarter. In 11A, T Area in the second quarter has an 8-0 lead on Hot Springs. T Area the top seed. West Central having no trouble at Todd County as they lead the Falcons 49-0, and they're early in the fourth quarter now. Dakota Valley out to a 12-3 lead in the first quarter over St. Thomas More. And Pierre, as we mentioned, going to the second quarter, leading Spearfish on River 92.7, 21-0. and they'll play Mitchell or Brookings next week if that happens to be a pure victory tonight. Sturgis has a 3-0 start at Yankton, and they're already into the second quarter in a game that started at 6 o'clock. So the Scoopers looking to pull an upset, but still plenty of time to go there. Huron and Harrisburg are underway, but no score in Harrisburg. And first final in 11 AAA, Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeated Aberdeen Central in a 4 o'clock kickoff game, 55-14. And Sioux Falls O'Gorman has a second quarter lead over Sioux Falls Lincoln already, 27-0. Same score, Brandon Valley leading Rapid City Central with about 9 minutes left in the second quarter, 27-0. So that's the scoring update, and we'll continue to keep you updated on all of those scoring updates this evening here as we can continue with Sully Buttes and Kadoka area. Time for the starting lineups as the announcements have begun on the field here and in the press booth. Starting lineups come to us courtesy of Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre, and we start with the Sully Buttes Chargers. Their quarterback, Nick Whitler, the junior at 165 pounds. Good backfield behind him with Morris Hofer, the 200-pound senior. Mackenzie Weinheimer, the 185-pound senior as well. Out wide is Sebastian Frost, a 160-pound senior. On the line, Jet Lamb is back in action tonight, as we understand it. A junior at 270 in the center spot. The guards will be Jack Mercer, a 185-pound senior, and Jesse Shaw, the freshman, at 190. Cameron Ogle is a tight end at 215 and a senior, along with Grant Johnson at 180 pounds and a senior. The offensive starters for Sully Buttes. Defensively, Jesse Shaw and Jet Lamb will be the defensive tackles. Mackenzie Weinheimer, Jack Mercer, the ends on the D-line. Three-man linebacking core with Cameron Ogle in the middle, Morris Hofer on one side, also Braden Perry, a senior at 160, starting on defense. Grant Johnson and Sebastian Frost, the defensive backs on the corners, and Nick Whitler, the free safety for Sully Buttes. And their head coach, Mark Seffner, assistant coaches Tom Moore, Brian White, and Ben Minahan. Your starting lineup for Kadoka area is coming up after you hear this from the folks at Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre.
The key to a successful hunt begins at Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. They carry a large variety of reloading equipment, cleaning supplies, and firearms accessories. They also sell and deliver Liberty gun safes. See Teton River Traders Gun Shop for all your gunsmithing needs, including custom-built firearms. Stop in today. Teton River Traders Gun Shop, located west of Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Starting lineups from Teton River Traders. The visiting team tonight, I say this all the time, the Kadoka area Cougars, and they'll be led by quarterback TJ Hammer, who is a 153-pound sophomore. In the backfield, a loaded one at that. Hudson Johnson comes in, a 146-pound sophomore. Gavin Sudbeck is a sophomore at 131, and John Daly, the senior, at 156. Not a lot of big backs, but some talented ones at that. The center on the line is Tel Vandermeer. He's a senior at 224. Jared Hicks, a junior at 223, comes in at one guard spot. Grayson DeVries, the other guard, a junior at 175. And on the ends are Rich Lamont, a junior at 157, and Caden Block, a junior at 164. All 9 of those young men will also start on defense in what is still a little bit of a depleted lineup for the Cougars, with Tel Vandermeer and Jared Hicks, the defensive tackles. Rich Lamont, Caden Block are the defensive ends. The linebackers consist of TJ Hammer, Grayson DeVries, and John Daly, and the defensive backfield is Hudson Johnson and Gavin Sudbeck. The starting lineups for the Kadoka area Cougars coming in 5-4, the 8th seed in Class 9B's remaining 8. Their head coach is Chad Eisenbraun. He's assisted by Jody Sudbeck, Carter Euler, Chris Bird, and Carl Ireland. Our starting lineups brought to you by Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. One other starting line to bring to you, it's the naming of tonight's game officials, and our game officials are the Law on the Field, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. We've got a Fort Pierre crew tonight, as Louis Young is the white hat. He's the referee, and also teamed up with Mark Smith, Chris Dozart, Jeremy Michelson, and Tate Gabriel. The guys in stripes are the Law on the Field from the South Dakota Attorney General's Office. Once again, Louis Young, Mark Smith, Chris Dozark, Jeremy Michelson, and Tate Gabriel, and we applaud them for their efforts in being high school sports officials. We certainly could use more of them. The law on the field from South Dakota's Attorney General's office. They will present the colors here, and we will kick it off in a little bit. Let's take a 3-minute timeout, and we're back with more high school football, the 9B quarterfinal, Sully Buttes and Kadoka area on 1060 KGFX and 107.1 FM and drgnews.com.
Shine, the state senior health insurance program, and the Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection are fighting fraud and abuse in the healthcare system. If you have Medicare, you can help by guarding your Medicare number. Don't share it with anybody who contacts you by telephone, email, or in person. Medicare will never contact you for your Medicare number or other personal information. To report potential fraud, waste, or abuse, call Consumer Protection at 1-800-300-1986. That's 1-800-300-1986.
Koenig of Oneida and Pierre has always offered great service to the growers they serve. Koenig focuses on one thing and one thing only, providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. Farm by farm and one customer at a time. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical application, soil sampling, seed sales, or treating, stop in and see an agronomist at Koenig, with offices located in Oneida and Pierre.
Brett Spray Service in Oneida is proud to support the Sully Buttes Chargers in all their school athletics and activities. The staff at Brett Spray Service has served the Oneida area for over 20 years, and they appreciate your continued business. For your aerial application and crop spraying, remember to call Brett Spray Service in Oneida at 258-2743. Good luck, Chargers, from your fans at Brett Spray Service in Oneida.
This holiday season, Bank West encourages you to eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percentage rate of just 3% and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
The Corner in Oneida is a proud supporter of Sully Buttes athletics and youth activities. Stop by the Corner on your way out to support the Chargers for all of your C-store needs. Fuel, hot stuffed pizza, roaster chicken, and daily lunch specials. Plus snacks, beverages, and everybody's favorite, warm cookies. The crew at the Corner is proud of the hard work and determination our kids show in all of their school activities and wish them good luck in today's performance. From the Corner in Oneida. Need help in your grain risk management? How about getting better prices than the local grain prices? Look no farther than Fearless Grain Marketing. Contact Jeremy Frost today at 605-295-3100. Fearless Grain Marketing. Helping producers make sales that make sense while buying fear and selling greed. Fearless Grain Marketing. Helping farmers connect directly with end users to make better, higher price sales with offices at 2000 South 4th Street in Oneida and Brown Commodities in Gettysburg.
Back in Oneida once again, as our pregame is just about over. We've had the national anthem here, and we will enact the coin toss at midfield. We're right at midfield here. You got a good view of it coming up if you are viewing this on our YouTube live stream. We understand that they've notified folks in both the Sully Buttes and the Kadoka area school districts that we've got the live stream on. So wherever you are, we thank you for joining us through that route. If that doesn't work out for you, of course, we still have the regular radio airwaves. We've got the website, drgnews.com, and we've got mobile apps as well for KGFX AM downloadable for your smartphone. You can listen to us through that manner as well. I'm Brian Oakland. You are listening to the 9B quarterfinal on 1060 KGFX AM. Fort Pierre, a member of the Dakota Radio Group, and again online, drgnews.com with Jeff Duncan back in studio and some good friends here in the booth. We've got a pretty good football game coming up here. Number 1 ranked Sully Buttes, 9-0. Number 8 seed Kadoka area at 5-4. The setup for the postseason, of course, Kadoka area got here with a win at Harding County. A week ago tonight, Sully Buttes defeated Hitchcock-Tulare at home. But next week, the semifinals will be played, and that'll be on Friday night. The semifinals, Sully Buttes, if they win, would certainly host as being the top overall seed. Kadoka area is the lowest seed of everybody that's left, so they would travel either to Burke or Faulkton. If Sully Buttes wins, they will host either Burke or Faulkton. That game going on up in Faulkton tonight. Faulkton area is the number 4 seed. Sully Buttes has won the toss. They will receive, and they will head from west to east as Kadoka area in road white with the purple numbers, purple pants and purple helmets will defend from left to right or from east to west. And again, it is Friday night, semifinal night next week, so they'll have an extra day to prepare. The 9B championship is scheduled for 2 weeks from tomorrow night. It'll be 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, November 8th or 9th, whatever that date is, but it is a Friday morning 9B state championship game as we look ahead another couple of weeks. Time for the kickoff. Kickoff is brought to you by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores of Pierre and Fort Pierre. We'll hear from Lynn's Dakota Mart and then Kadoka area and Sully Buttes coming up next on 1060 KGFX.
Welcome to Lynn's Dakota Mart. Check out their selection in the meat, produce, and deli department, as well as the rest of the store. The freshest and best quality in the area. Don't see what you need? Just ask. Their friendly staff is more than happy to help in any way possible. For any gathering, large or small, Lynn's Dakota Mart is there for you. Special orders and requests, too. Smart grocery shopping takes a little TLC. Lynn's Dakota Mart. Thrifty, local, and convenient.
Lynn's Dakota Mart kickoff coming up here as Kadoka area will do the honors. It is a low line drive kick from left to right, and it'll be picked up by the Chargers, and a quick start already. Sebastian Frost weaving his way outside the near hash mark up across the 35, but a nice tackle at the 39-yard line is where Sully Buttes will begin as we are underway. Of course, each game that gets played from now on, a little bit more important for the teams that are involved, and certainly for the schools and their fan bases as well. Sully Buttes trying to get back to the Dakota Dome for the second straight year, and which would also be the third year in the last 4. From the near hash mark, Nick Whitler will set things up. Backs are in the I formation. They'll start with Mackenzie Weinheimer, the fullback, as he'll come straight ahead. Mackenzie did not run the football very often last week, but he's got about 4 yards here to begin across the 40 to the 43-yard line. And Sully Buttes, who I believe deferred the opening kick a week ago, but they decided to see if they can get a quick start here tonight against the 8th-seeded Cougars. 2nd down and 6, still on the near hash mark. Chargers in the home purple with the gold pants and helmets and the gold numbers and trim as well. Whitler under center. Goes to the deep man, Hofer, now as he comes behind his blocker and then bounces out once he hits to the 45-yard line. Not a big gain, though, for Morris Hofer. As a good surge from the Kadoka area. Defensive line, Tel Vandermeer comes in with the stop. Maybe only a couple at best. We'll call it to the 46 for the Chargers. Still on their own side of the field. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. And again, big task here for the Cougars especially, who are undermanned tonight. Looking down on their lineup, they've got 4 players in civvies. They've got 3 players who are dressed on the sideline. That means 12 players are dressed for Kadoka area tonight. Still on the ground goes Hofer, and the Cougars, who obviously played great defense at Harding County a week ago, are making another stop here. Jackson Grimes in there, Tel Vandermeer as well. Grimes is a 172-pound sophomore. And the Chargers have an opportunity now to see if they can make a statement here. They're a yard short of the first down, setting at the 48 with Hofer picking up a couple of 2-yard gains. Right near midfield. Chargers could punt and try to play field position, but they feel they can get this 1 yard. They'll keep it with Nick Whitler. He's got the sneak. He's into Kadoka area territory, and a pink flag is going to come in here on the end of the play, thrown by the near side official. as the sneak took Whitler all the way to the Kadoka area 44-yard line. Would be about a 8-yard gain. There's a face mask on the end as well, so they'll tack that onto the end of the run. Face mask of the 5-yard variety. And to the 39-yard line is where this will end up. It'll be a first down for the Chargers.
Brings up 1st and 10 for the Chargers.
And again, the first penalty of the game marked off, in this case, against Kadoka area. So Whitler picks up 8 on his first carry. 1st and 10, Sully Buttes. 9:45 to go first quarter. Ball's in the middle of the field. Play action. Whitler wants to throw, but he'll keep it short to Weinheimer. Makes a nice move on the near side. 35 to the 30, down the near sideline to the 25-yard line, and then forced out of bounds. Nice move and a nifty one at that to set up and spring a long run here for Mackenzie Weinheimer all the way down inside the 20-yard line. In fact, they mark it at the 17-yard line. A 27-yard hookup between Nick Whitler and his first pass attempt, and again to Mackenzie Weinheimer.
From Cologne, the score is 8 Coleman-Egan, 8 Cologne.
Coleman-Egan and Cologne. Good game going on down in Cologne. Cologne in the semifinals last year. Sully Buttes defeated them, went to the Dome and met up with Coleman-Egan and came up short in the Dome. So one of those teams not going to make it as far as they did last year. 1st and 10 in the red zone for the Chargers. Whitler's on a bootleg to the right, turns upfield near inside the far hash mark, and he will run in to Grayson DeVries, a 175-pound junior. Inside the 10-yard line, looks like all the way to the 8. Nick Whitler, who had an 8-yard pickup on his first attempt of the night, picks up 9 this time. 2nd down and 1. Didn't see Whitler getting in a lot of running motion last week either, but again, we'll see. I think the Chargers will open up the playbook a little more tonight than they did last week, but might be, we'll see how it goes, and then maybe we'll see some bigger things later on. Another pass in the flat out on the near side. This one through the hands of Mackenzie Weinheimer, and it'll become 3rd and 1. As the Cougars try to make a defensive stand. Kadoka area got Sully Buttes into a 4th down situation in the first sequence of this opening drive of the game with the incomplete pass. Clock is stopped with 8:47 left to play. You can see the Cougars in bright pink socks, and some of them, obviously the pink. We've mentioned the pink flag that was thrown by one of the officials. Lots of folks showing their awareness for breast cancer here in this month of October. Whitler's in the pistol. He's got Morris Hofer behind him. 3rd and 1 from the 8-yard line. They'll stay on the ground. Hofer straight up the gut, and following blockers, he's got it. Touchdown for Sully Buttes. Hole opened up in the middle, and the big fellas of the Chargers, Jet Lamb maybe leading the way as he's back in action, and Hofer just followed the blockers. They had a good 5-yard surge, and then Hofer got a little bit of contact. He did the rest himself, and it's an 8-yard touchdown run for Morris Hofer. So the Chargers strike first, and they lead 6-0. And the Sully Buttes will go for 2, as they've done all season long. Chargers working from our right to left, and I'll tell you what, hardly any wind tonight. What breeze there is blowing left to right across the field. Slant pattern pass by Whitler is, I believe, incomplete was the signal. Pass was dropped. Maybe thrown a little bit behind the intended receiver coming from the right side on the slant. So Sully Buttes will settle for 6, but they strike first with 8:42 left in the first. Chargers lead the Cougars 6-0, and we're back with a kickoff. In 30 seconds, you're listening to the high school 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
Phillip Health Services, with decades of patient-centered care, continues today and in the future through a hospital, nursing home, home health care services, clinics in Phillip and Kadoka, physical and sports medicine therapy, and assisted living. Phillip Health Services provides outstanding health services in Phillip and the surrounding area. They're proud to be built on community spirit, starting with funds from Hans P. Peterson, for which the hospital is named. Phillip Health Services wishes the Kadoka Cougars best of luck in tonight's competition.
Well, Sully Buttes takes the opening kickoff and had a fourth down conversion along the way. Got helped by a 5-yard face mask penalty as well, but big play of a 27-yard pitch and catch and run from Nick Whitler to Mackenzie Weinheimer. Drive finished off on an 8-yard touchdown run by Morris Hofer. 2-point conversion attempt with a pass failed. Chargers lead 6-0. That was an 8-play scoring drive covering 61 yards in 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. So the Chargers will kick off for the first time tonight. Grant Johnson to do the honors. From right to left, it'll stay in the squib on the ground, and over to the far side, it'll finally trickle out of bounds, kind of let go by Gavin Sudbeck. And Kadoka area can ask for a re-kick 5 yards back, or they'll take it perhaps at the 40-yard line, which would be pretty good field position. We'll see what the choice is here. Or will it be actually it'll be the 35-yard line where the Cougars will begin their opening possession. Kadoka defense showed some things in that first defensive effort, but
Cologne 14, Coleman 8.
You can hear those scores continuing to come in. That's one score that people are really watching here in Oneida, obviously, given their history with both of those teams. Cougars on the ground here, the quarterback. Well, the running back, should say, is John Daly, 156-pound senior. Might have got a yard. Cameron Ogle comes up from his middle linebacker spot and hits Daly hard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. First play, and again, we'll see. Kadoka comes out in the double wing. They'll probably use that quite a bit. Man in motion from the left to the right takes the pitch, trying to follow the blocks to the right side of the line. Hofer got in there to interrupt, and also Ogle again. And it's number 82, Hudson Johnson, 146 and a sophomore. So, again, Sully Buttes obviously has got some big defensive players, whereas Kadoka area comes out 131, 146, and 156 in this double wing, plus the tailback in the backfield. And the quarterback, not much bigger, 153, TJ Hammer, who's under center. They send 2 wide out to the left. One man in motion, shotgun snap, quick hitter out to the left side, and this one through the hands of a Sully Buttes defender, I think. Looking on the slant, incomplete, and Kadoka area will have to punt. Rich Lamont, the 157 junior, is the intended receiver on that one. So a 1-yard pickup on the first play of the game, and then a stand-up by the Charger defense and an incomplete pass. And Kadoka area will have to punt. John Daly to do the honors with 1 man deep for Sully Buttes. The kick, pretty good one. Little hang time bouncing at the Sully Buttes 45-yard line, and Nick Whitler will let it come to a rest where Kadoka area will down it at the Charger 39-yard line, we should say. Sully Buttes will start their second possession where they started their first at their own 39. 7:22 to go, 6-0 Sully Buttes. Early on, a couple of updated scores that have changed since we last checked them. At halftime, Mount Vernon Plankinton in 11B leads Deadwood 34-0. Dakota Valley in 11A has a 26-9 lead over St. Thomas More. Todd County got on the board late, but their game is done with West Central. The Trojans defeat the Falcons 49-8. Here's Morris Hofer on first down, sidestepping a couple of would-be tacklers, making a nice move, 5-6 yards or so. Up across the 45-yard line. Let's call it the 46, and we'll give Morris Hofer 7 yards on first down. Hofer was bottled up on his first 2 runs, but 8 and 7 on his last couple. The 8-yarder goes for a touchdown to start the scoring here as well. 5 minutes into this one, Whitler under center. Man out wide is Sebastian Frost, but it stays on the ground. Stiff arm for Hofer, and he breaks out of the initial contact up across midfield into Kadoka area territory. Until Vandermeer eventually brings him down, but Hofer had a nice stiff arm to spring a nice run there into Kadoka territory. Inside the 45, they mark it at the 43. And that's a pickup of 11 yards here for Morris Hofer. 28 on his first 5 carries of the night. Frost out wide to the right, but nothing fancy. Here comes Hofer again. A flag will be thrown from the near side, but Hofer close to a would-be first down inside the 45 to the 40 to the 35. And the end of the play would be at about the 31-yard line. But we've got a chop block called against the Chargers. And that came on the left side of the defensive end with a flag thrown from our near side officials. So that's a 15-yard penalty. A little bit of a hurt put on the Chargers here. It'll mark them back into their own side of the field. All the way back to the 42. First penalty marked off against Sully Buttes. And now suddenly what could have been 2nd and inches becomes first down and about 25. All the way back again to the 42 of Sully Buttes. We'll have to pan right with the camera view for those who are watching along. Chargers in purple, 2 purple teams, but Kadoka area in the road white tonight defending. Nick Whitler will send a man in motion. Garrett Peterson in, and he'll take the pitch pass right in front of the quarterback in shotgun formation. Peterson will advance up the middle of the field across the 45 right up to the 50-yard line. So it'll be an 8-yard pass play as it turns out. Peterson in early tonight. It's an 8-yard scrimmage play. It'll be 2nd and about 17 here, going to the 43, 42-yard line. Looking for that is Sully Buttes. On the Kadoka side of the field, Whitler in the pistol again. 2 wideouts to the right. He'll come to the 1 to the left. Pass is caught at Sebastian Frost on a quick pass play. As Frost is brought down by Gavin Sudbeck. Inside the Cougar 40 to about the 38, inside the 38-yard line. So about a 12-yard pickup here as Whitler throws a good ball. Sebastian Frost there for the grab. Will give him 12. And again to the Cougar 38. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Chargers. Got a couple of scores being passed along to us. Britton Hecla has now defeated Corsica Stickney 58-6. And Bridgewater Emory Ethan has a halftime lead 26-6 on Mobridge Pollock. Tackle for loss here for Kadoka area as Weinheimer takes the handoff and kicked back to the 39-yard line. That's a loss of a yard. Good job by Gavin DeVries to blow that play up, and Sully Buttes will be in a 4th down situation. And again, this started with a chop block penalty that marked him back 15 yards. They had 3rd and about 5. It'll be 4th and a long 6 now. They are in what you can consider 4-down territory. 4th and 6 from the opponent's 39-yard line. Wideouts are twice to the right. Grant Johnson, the single wideout to the left, going across the middle, has the reception, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Brought down by Sudbeck at the 30-yard line. That should be good enough for a first down by a couple of yards. Pickup of 9. No panic for the Chargers. Well executed. Nick Whitler to Grant Johnson, his favorite wideout receiver. Most likely, 56 yards on 4 of 5 for Nick Whitler and a fresh set of downs. That's their second 4th down conversion so far here in the first quarter. So we've got a couple of final scores in. One in 11A, one in 9A. Excuse me. One in 11 AAA as well. Quick hitter is out to the near side once again. Hofer has it, making some moves inside the 25. Got around Hudson Johnson, and then Gavin Sudbeck finally brings him down, but it looks like it'll be at least close to, if not past the line to gain. Could be another first down. We'll check the spot. And it'll be marked just inside the 20-yard line. That'll be a 10-yard pickup and another first down. Hofer with his first grab of the night, 5 out of 6. Whitler completing passes to 5 different receivers. This one's on the ground. Hofer has a lot of room. 20, 15, 10, 5, and brought down to the goal line, but sliding across for 6 is Morris Hofer. Met by Hudson Johnson at the goal line, who did everything he could to keep the bigger running back out of the end zone, but Morris Hofer Spun right over the back of Hudson Johnson and in for the score. His second of the night, 20 yards this time for Hofer. And the Charger lead is up to 12-0. 2-point conversion, and Hofer has a lane to walk through this time as well. So 1 for 2 on the 2-pointers. And Sully Buttes will up their lead to 14-0. We've got 3:14 to go in the first quarter. 30-second timeout. Chargers kick when we come back. You're listening to the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
As one of Valspar's most advanced paint and primer products, Valspar Pristine offers luxurious color, single coat coverage, and an extra advantage: clean science technology. Pristine was specifically engineered to repel dirt and resist stains, so it retains a smooth, clean finish over the years, even after repeated washing and scrubbing. Stop by Fromm's Hardware and Plumbing in Kadoka and see their fine display of new Valspar Pristine paint, available in matte, satin, or gloss finish.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank's Hardware.
Well, the first two possessions for Sully Buttes, both very similar. Both of them 8 plays, both of them 61 yards. This last one covers 3 minutes and 52 seconds off of our first quarter clock. Morris Hofer rumbles in from 20 yards out. He also tacks on the 2-point conversion. Hofer has both touchdowns so far. 3:14 to go. It's 14-0. Sully Buttes. And we'll continue to get more and more scores throughout. Want to keep passing those along all the time, especially the 9B games. Again, the winner of this game gets either Burke or Faulkton area, as they should be underway up in Faulkton as well. Johnson's squib kick picked up by the Cougars on the near side, coming up across the 30 to the 35. Hudson Johnson met by Mackenzie Weinheimer and also Braden Perry. And the Cougars will have it 1st and 10 at about their own 36 to start their second possession of the night. They went 3 and out on their first, only picking up a yard on their first possession. And again, I think yards could be, and they're probably aware of it as well, a little difficult to come by over the course of the evening. But we'll see what they can do here in that double wing from the near side. Outside, Gavin Sudbeck will try to make some plays. Cannot get the speed to the outside. Cameron Ogle gets in there on defense once again. This will be a loss of 2 back inside the 35, and we'll call it the 34. And again, Sudbeck. Now Kadoka area's got quickness. They've got the smaller backs, but Sully Buttes pretty good at filling holes, shall we say, on that line of scrimmage. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers in there as well. And this will be taken to the left side, maybe a yard back to the 35 at best. And this is TJ Hammer, the quarterback, who kept it on the run.
Hammer with the carry.
Chargers converge on him. It'll be 3rd and, again, about 10, maybe 11. Well, a long 10.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
At the 35-yard line. Ball's on the far hash mark here, coming down to the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. In the gun goes Hammer. Got a helper back there is Hudson Johnson. He starts left, looks back to the right, tries to throw a screen underneath, and here comes Hudson Johnson. 35 makes a move, looking for the 40, but again, it is Cameron Ogle. He got away from Nick Whitler, but Ogle running the field very well. And it'll be a short gain as it turns out. Tell you what, it looked like Kadoka area had an opportunity to pick up some yards and maybe convert on 3rd down, but it'll just be a 3-yard gain as it stands to the 38-yard line. Set up a nice little play. Hammer sold it pretty well, looking to the left. It's Johnson coming back to the right, and unfortunately for the Cougars, they'll have to punt for the second time. Trailing 14-0, stepping into this one. Good kick. It'll take a bounce. Whitler has to come back and get it. Muffs it at first at the 35 with Sudbeck breathing down his neck, but Whitler able to corral it. Sudbeck brings him down, but back at the 32-yard line. So Sully Buttes will start there on their 3rd offensive possession. They lead 14-0. We got 1 minute and 1 second left to go here in the first quarter. Take a quick look at some of those other scores. Coleman, Egan, and Cologne still tied at 8-8. And Kimball Whitelake has taken the first lead at Arlington Lake Preston in 9AA. That's our game on KPLO FM. And that's an 8-0 Wildcat lead. Wall is leading Castlewood 7-0 early on out west as well. That's an interesting score there. We'll talk about that in a bit. Here comes Weinheimer in the meantime. Comes around left guard and gets into the defensive backfield up from the 40 to all the way to the 50-yard line. And that'll be an 18-yard pickup right off the bat on this possession here for Mackenzie Weinheimer, who's getting some opportunities to make some plays here tonight. Castlewood out at Wall tonight. That's a 6-3. Last year, Castlewood went out and mercy ruled an undefeated Wall team. I understand Castlewood is missing their starting quarterback in the last couple of weeks, but still kind of wondered if the same thing would happen. Well, not yet, as Wall gets the first touchdown on the board. Whitler on the blitz is keeping it out of the far side. It's the 45 to the 40, leaps a man, and going to be run out of bounds at about the 35-yard line by Hammer. First man who got in there was Grayson DeVries. He came in on the blitz, but Whitler, I'll tell you what, I don't know if that was the design play, but I think Whitler saw the blitz, and just as soon as he took that snap, he just started running away from it, gets a big gain. It'll be another first down at the Kadoka area, 34-yard line. And that's good for 16. For the Sully Buttes signal caller. Far hash mark, Whitler under center. He'll go with Hofer this time, trying to follow the block on the left side. He bounces back to the middle of the field. Chad Lamb blocking all the way downfield. Jack Mercer doing well also. This was not Hofer. They say it was Jordan Shaw. Shaw, the backup running back, 185-pound freshman, and showed some good field vision here. Inside the 30, down to the 25, and what'll be the final play of the first quarter. 9-yard gain for Jordan Shaw, his first of the night. The Chargers will have 2nd and 1. But on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, first quarter's into the books, and it's the Chargers leading Kadoka area by the score of 14-0. Wagner Auto appeared the one place to go. 60-second break. Quarter number 2 is next. It's the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in South Dakota are safer than ever before. That's something I really love.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Good luck, Chargers, for Milwaukee Grain Corporation in Oneida, your local independently owned and operated grain elevator. At home or in the field, find all the market information you need online at OahuGrainCorp.com. You can even get bid information by text. Oahu Grain, bringing the world's markets to local farmers with updates every day. For all your grain marketing needs, call Tim or Allen at Oahu Grain in Oneida today, 1-800-658-3654.
Welcome back to Oneida. We'll go to the second quarter. Sully Buttes leading Kadoka area 14-0. A pair of Morris Hofer touchdown runs. And the Chargers on the move once again. They've got it 2nd and 1 at the 25-yard line of Kadoka area as we switch directions. Swing pass out to the left side. Morris Hofer with the grab as he'll be tripped up and out of bounds, I believe, by... it's 32 instead of 82. 32, Jared Hicks, the 223-pound junior, running the field well. But a first down for Sully Buttes, a pickup of 7. I believe I said 25, but that last play originated at the, well, I did have the 25-yard line. But let us revamp here. And it'll be at the about the 23-yard line where it is now. Let's call that a 7-yard pickup from Whitler to Hofer. Under center on first down. Looking to throw over the middle of the field. The lob is caught by Cameron Ogle, and a touchdown for Sully Buttes. Ogle's been playing well on defense running the field, but he's also a pretty good fleet-footed tight end for the big man. Over the middle, 23 yards, and a perfectly placed ball by the quarterback, Nick Whitler, and the Chargers will tack on 6 more. Cameron Ogle's first score of the night. Updated score of 20-0. Sully Buttes lining up, going for 2. Whitler will put things in motion, stays on the ground. I believe this is Jordan Shaw through the left side of the offensive line. That's good for 2 more. And Sully Buttes now leads 22-0, just underway in the second quarter. Let's take a 1-minute break, and Sully Buttes kicks when we come back. This is high school's 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
People's Market in Kadoka is your locally owned associated wholesale grocery store in the Midwest. Stop in anytime to People's Market for all of your grocery items, including fresh cut meats, produce, and cold beverages of your choice. Look for their weekly specials and new items throughout the store. People's Market in Kadoka has proudly served the community for over 70 years, and they wish the Kadoka Cougars good luck in all of their school activities.
With convenient mobile text banking from Sunrise Bank, it's easier than ever to manage your money right where you are. Using just your message feature on your mobile phone, you can quickly check your account balances and review your transaction history. See how easy it is to keep up with your finances on the go. Sunrise Bank Dakota is a proud sponsor of Sully Buttes Athletics and Activities and wish the Chargers good luck in today's competition. Sunrise Bank Dakota in Oneida, member FDIC.
Sully Buttes 3 for 3 on their possession so far, as this time they go 5 plays and 68 yards, taking just a minute and 12 off the clock. The drive started at the end of the first quarter, and it finishes with 11:49 left in the second quarter. A 23-yard touchdown pass from Nick Whitler to Cameron Ogle, and it was Jordan Shaw running in the 2-point conversion run. So the Chargers lead 22-0. Winner of this game gets the winner of Burke and Faulkton area up in Faulkton, and the Trojans lead that game by the score of 16-8. As they kicked off at 7 o'clock as well, so they're probably just getting underway in the second quarter as well. Got a lot of scores that are starting to roll in. Timberlake leading New Underwood 8-6 in our game on KMLO. Cougars will take the football in their own 35 as Grant Johnson's kick for the second time tonight went out of bounds. And the Cougars will look to spread the field a little bit. Just 3 offensive linemen. Wideouts spread out, 4 offensive linemen. 2 wideouts to the right, one coming in motion as TJ Hammer takes the snap, and he wants to go long, but he'll overshoot the intended receiver by quite a bit. And Richard Lamont was getting spun around just a little bit, either by that throw or by perhaps trying to stay away from the good coverage that Sully Buttes was providing as well. Second pass attempt from Hammer on the night. And they'll come back and retool on 2nd and 10. Timberlake has scored again, now 14-6, as the undefeated Panthers lead New Underwood. Under center comes Hammer this time. Lamont in motion from the near left side, and he'll end up on the right wing. The pitch back goes to Hudson Johnson, looking to go that short side of the field across the way, but the Chargers will get there quickly again, coming away from the spot of the tackle. Jack Mercer, among others, 185-pound senior.
No gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 10.
And Johnson ends up with nothing on that run attempt, his second of the night. So another 3rd and 10, 3rd and long coming here for Kadoka area. They obviously have not been able to garner a lot of offense tonight. 1 yard on their first possession, just 2 total yards on their second possession. Here they've got 3rd and 10. Gavin Sudbeck in motion right to left. Hammer's looking to the left, but has to duck under the rush, and he is on the move now. Still got away from one would-be tackler, but finally brought down by Braden Perry. Lamb almost got there, made a nice dive, but Hammer fleet-footed for the time being until another Charger comes to knock him down. And we're going to go with a sack on that as Hammer had to tuck and run fairly quickly. So back to the 35-yard line. And the Chargers, or I should say the Cougars, will have to punt for the third time. Sudbeck puts a boot into it. Boy, he gets some good hang time on it. Whitler again has to wait for it. Actually, it'll be Sudbeck downing it. The kicker, John Daly, rather. So the Chargers will have it 1st and 10 once again. So with 10:04 to go here in the second quarter, Sully Buttes leads 20-0, or 22-0. They're 3 for 3 so far on their possessions and scoring touchdowns, 2 for 3 on the 2-point conversions as the ball came dead here at the 33-yard line. Chargers, for the 4th time, start a possession in the 30s on their own side of the field. Actually, we call this one at the 32 again. Getting an update on that Colombe score. Colombe, I believe, leading Coleman Egan 20-8. Chargers will come out. Whitler in the pistol with one man behind him. Hofer and comes out to the right side, but over the middle, and Grant Johnson is wide open up to the 50-yard line. Loses the football, but I think he might be whistled down. Far side official says Johnson is down. He made a good move to get away from the first tackler, but ultimately brought down at the Kadoka area 48-yard line. So a nice gain of about 20 yards right away. And I'll be perfectly honest, I think the Chargers opening up the playbook a little bit more than I thought they would. They kept it on the ground about 90% of the time last week, but passing game is working well so far here tonight against the undermanned Cougars. Whitler handing off to Jordan Shaw, goes left side, around the outside, got a stiff arm, and he'll get dragged by the shirt tails down out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Nice gain for Jordan Shaw, who continues to run well. Hammer in on the stop, about 8 yards here for Jordan Shaw. Freshman getting an opportunity for some early playing time here. 9.5 minutes to go. Once we get to halftime, we'll get as many scores passed along to you as we can. Of course, the winner of this one moves on to next Friday night. A couple of Thursdays in a row in the first 2 rounds of the postseason, but we moved to Friday next weekend, and then the 9B championship will also be Friday, but we'll have to get up early for that one. 10 o'clock start for whomever is playing in it. In the gun again is Whitler, 2nd and 2. Looking over the middle, floats it out, and wide open is Morris Hofer. He got behind the defense, 20, 10, 5, and a touchdown. Morris Hofer. Hofer on the far side just got behind every defender out there, had a wide open area to set up camp, and Nick Whitler hits him from 40 yards out. Hofer ran in about the last 25 yards on his own. Whitler has his 2nd touchdown pass. Morris Hofer has his 3rd touchdown overall on the night. And the Chargers up their lead to 28-0. Another 2-point conversion upcoming here. Kadoka area had a great win last week at Hardin County. Obviously, they knew it would be much tougher here this evening. Shaw has another carry, and he only gets 2 yards, but that's all he needs to the goal line. 2-point conversion is good. Chargers up their lead, 30-0, 9:22 to play. We're in the first half. You're listening to Sully Buttes and Kadoka, the 9B quarterfinal. We're back in 1 minute on KGFX.
At Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, they know farmers don't all have the same game plan. That's why they give farmers options, from what brand of seed they want to use to what features they want on their grain trailer. Barber Chemicals also provides custom spraying for ag chemicals and fertilizers, finding the best solution for your fields. Team up with the best. Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, a proud sponsor of Sully Buttes Sports. Call 258-2708 or come see them under the big water tower south of Oneida.
Virtually anything in your house or building that can run on electricity can run on propane. However, a propane-fueled home is less costly to operate than an electric home. Studies have shown that propane is cheaper, warmer, cleaner, safer, and more dependable than electric. Contact Stewart & Daughters in Oneida at 258-2647 today to learn more about the benefits of propane. Stewart & Daughters, a proud sponsor of high school sports and the Sully Buttes Chargers.
Well, Sully Butte's taken to the air and making it look easy. 3 plays and 68 yards, just 42 seconds off of the second quarter clock. Nick Whitler hooking up with Morris Hofer from 40 yards out. Jordan Shaw with another 2-point conversion run. The Chargers lead 30-0. They kick off, and here comes Hudson Johnson up the middle of the field, hesitates, and looked like he was going to get an opportunity out to the outside, but Mackenzie Weinheimer in on the stop just across the 30-yard line. So the Cougars will try again. They've had 3 3-and-outs on their first 3 possessions, and they'll start at their own 33-yard line this time, 9:16 to play. 9AA score as Corsica Freeman leading Arlington, Alcester Hudson 22-0. That game in the second quarter. A lot of scores coming up here at the half. 28 games overall being played in South Dakota tonight. Hammer in the gun. Quick pass out to Richard Lamont, and the pass thrown a little bit below the knees. Lamont had it, but is unable to hang on to it. And that will negate what could have been a 4 or 5 yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 33 for the Cougars. 1 out of 3, just 3 yards for TJ Hammer, but once again, Kadoka area playing without several players, and now they've got another one on the bench getting taped up. The one quarterback who's listed in the roster is not TJ Hammer, it's Marcus Herber, who is a 152-pound senior. And he is one of them on crutches on the near side. In motion, the snap back to Hammer as a floater out to the near side. The pass is caught at the 40 to the 45 and the 50 and the first. First down of the night for the Kadoka area Cougars. Nice play to Kalen Block coming from the tight end spot, the 164-pound junior. Hammer laid that one out there, letting Block run right to it, and the Cougars will visit Sully Butte's territory for the first time tonight. They've got it across midfield at the 48, a gain of 19 yards from TJ Hammer to Kalen Block. A little bit of protection for Hammer. Kadoka able to make some plays here, but a quick hitter out to the left side, blown up by Sebastian Frost, who gets in front of Block to knock this one down.
Hammer's pass is broken up by Frost.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 48-yard line. 2 out of 5 for Hammer, but maybe a little life pumped into the Kadoka bloodstream, so to speak, here. They've got it 2nd and 10 at the Charger 48-yard line. They'll send 2 wideouts to the far right side. One back in the backfield is Hudson Johnson. Floater is out there, and Morris Hofer gets there in time to knock it down in front of Rich Lamont.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 here. Cougars know that they're not going to be able to make a lot of yardage trying to keep it on the ground. They've got to try to air things out, but a couple of incompletions after the 19-yard gainer. 8:43 left to go, second quarter. Sully Butte's on top 30-0. Here in the 9B quarterfinal round. Hammer wants to throw again, looking to go long, near side, looking for Lamont, and he's got it. Is he in bounds? Yes, he is. I don't think he got 2 feet in there as Sebastian Frost was right there in coverage. That was a pretty good play defensively, but a better play offensively for Kadoka area. Inside the 20-yard line, let's call it the 18, and a pickup of 30 yards for the Cougars. So there's some more life here. TJ Hammer, not the original intended starting quarterback for this team, but throws a pretty good ball. Play went out of bounds, so the clock stopped again. 8:37 left in the second quarter. And the Cougars are in the red zone here. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Hammer back. He got a bubble screen underneath to Hudson Johnson. Weinheimer grabs him, pulls him back. He may have reached the 15. Looks like the near side official will say the 16-yard line. So a couple of yards on the pickup.
Gain of a couple on the play. Brings up 2nd and
Hammer to Hudson Johnson. 2nd down and 8 for Kadoka area. And the Chargers now, defensively, looking to, I think you pretty much know they'd rather pitch the shutout if given the opportunity here tonight, but they're a little bit back on their heels. We're going to have a timeout called on the field by Kadoka area. They're first of 3, that they'll be allotted here in the first half. 7:59 to go, second quarter, 30-0 Chargers, but Kadoka area on the move. And we're back in 1 minute. You're listening to the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil are proud sponsors of the Kadoka Cougars and all of their school activities. Discount Fuel is open 24 hours a day and is located right off the interstate for your convenience. Discount Fuel has everything you need, like hot stuffed pizzas and an extensive line of hot foods, like chicken, burgers, and their famous gizzards. Owned and operated locally by Mark and Tammy Carlson, Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil have proudly served the Kadoka area since 1980, and they'd like to say thanks to their customers and friends. Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil.
Colson Farms of Blunt proudly sponsors this broadcast of the Sully Buttes Chargers. High school athletics and activities are about learning life values, such as perseverance, commitment, and teamwork. Success travels in the company of very hard work, and it shows with the Chargers. Colson Farms wishes the Sully Buttes athletes the best of luck in your competition. In for the win, Chargers.
Well, the timeout went a little bit quick. Welcome back to Oneida. Another pass play. TJ Hamer out to Gavin Sudbeck on the far side with man coverage out there by the Chargers. Kadoka area fortunate that ball wasn't picked off, but I think at the same time, Sully Buttes fortunate that ball wasn't caught. It'll be 3rd and 10 at the 16-yard line here, 3rd and 8 rather, for the Cougars here in the red zone. Hamer takes the snap, looks left, throws right. This one overthrown, a little bit behind Sudbeck, but also Grant Johnson out there in coverage. And Hamer did not lead his receiver enough on that one, and he actually floated it quite a bit. So with 7:49 left in the second quarter, it'll be 4th down and 8. A couple of nice pass plays here for the Cougars to set them up in the red zone, but they need a play here on 4th down. Hamer one more time has a wide open man out there. It's John Daly. He's got to the 10, and it looks like the 5, and should be a first down for Kadoka area.
Pass to Daly is complete. Brings up
Daly came out on the flat far right side, and he was wide open. Nobody covered him up from the Sully Buttes side of the field, and inside the 5, it looks like the 4, we'll call it, a 12-yard pickup for the Cougars, and it's first down and goal to go. First grab of the night for Daly. Hamer's actually completed 6 passes now. 5 of them on this possession, as the Cougars have realized they're going to have to make plays through the air. Quick hitter, and this one interrupted. And the Cougars may have wanted a push on Rich Lamont from behind. Somebody may have contacted him, but it'll be an incomplete pass in 2nd and 10. Suddenly 12 pass attempts for TJ Hamer and the Kadoka offense. Hamr. I apologize for mispronouncing that as often as I probably am. I like to say hammer. I don't know if that's what it is, whether it's Hamer or something else. But for the balance of the night, we'll probably go with Hammer. Sounds pretty tough. Hudson Johnson is in the backfield. Hamer in the gun. Had a man, and it's picked off at the goal line. He led the receiver just a little too far. Nick Whitler on his knees catches it just outside the goal line. It'll be an interception and a tough break here for the Kadoka area Cougars. The good news for Kadoka area is Sully Butte's going to have it on their own 1-yard line. The bad news is their first turnover of the night will give it to Sully Buttes. So with 7:23 to go in the second quarter, Chargers will take over, and they bend, but they certainly did not break. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line. Tough break here for Kadoka area, but the Chargers obviously in the shadow of their own goalpost now. We'll have to try to get some breathing room first and foremost. They'll keep it on the sneak. Whitler straight ahead on the dive. And he will get the breathing room that they'll need, at least a little bit, maybe 3 yards on this quarterback sneak up to the 4-yard line. Gavin DeVries in on the stop, 3 yards for Nick Whitler. It'll be 2nd and 7. 7:05, plenty of time still to go here in the second quarter, but Sully Buttes leads 30-0. 2 Morris Hofer rushing touchdowns, 2 Nick Whitler touchdown passes to Cameron Ogle and to Hofer, who had his 3rd touchdown overall on the night, to put the score where we have it now. Wideouts both sides, an extra slot receiver to the near right side, but we're going to have a whistle and a timeout called by Mark Sepner and the Sully Buttes Chargers. So with 6:41 to go in the second, we'll take a 1-minute break, 30-0 Chargers. They've got 2nd and 7 when we come back to the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
The Blue Goose in Oneida is proud to be a sponsor of Sully Buttes High School and youth activities. The Sully Buttes Chargers' discipline and hard work shows on the field, on the court, and in their organizations. Best of luck to the Chargers in their competition tonight with more fans at the Blue Goose. Don't forget to stop at the Goose after the game. Meet your friends for a cold beverage and pizza. Everybody at the Blue Goose says good luck, Chargers.
Touchdown, Chargers!
First impressions mean a lot. A nice, healthy smile makes a great first impression. Dr. Pat Hermanson and Dr. Brent Swenson are masters of the healthy smile. They offer family dentistry in a warm, relaxed, patient-friendly office at 433 South Central in Pierre. New patients are always welcome. Call Dr. Pat Hermanson or Dr. Brent Swenson for an appointment at 224-5966, 224-5966, located at 433 South Central in Pierre.
Coming back out of the timeout, welcome back to Oneida. We're updating some scores, and we'll pass them along once we get to halftime. Here's an option pitch for the Chargers, trying to get some room out to the left side, and again, a drive that started at their own 1-yard line. This option pitch going to be close to a first down out across the 10-yard line. Hudson Johnson runs him down, and they'll stop the clock, and it'll be a first down, signaled by Louis Young in the white hat. So just enough up to the 11. That'll be a 7-yard gain for Morris Hofer. First down for the Chargers. Kadoka area on that last drive had 10 plays in a drive that started at their own 33-yard line, most of them through the air. Had several incomplete passes, but they got all the way down to the Charger 4-yard line, but an interception by Nick Whitler has turned the tide. Whitler, the quarterback now on offense, looking out to the right side, gets away from DeVries and then unloads a pass out to the near side. It will be incomplete. Intended receiver is Sam Mercer, the 170-pound senior tight end. Whitler did a nice job in getting away. I don't know if that was DeVries or maybe Jackson Grimes in there, and forced him to scramble a little bit. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Chargers at their own 11-yard line. Kadoka area, even though they didn't score, big opportunity to make something happen defensively here, still deep in Sully Buttes' own side of the field. 6:15 left to play in the second quarter, and again 30-0. Chargers comfortably in front. Ball on the ground. I don't know if Whitler got a clean. Doesn't look like he got a clean snap on this one, and he is able to fall on top of it. So,
brings up 3rd and 10.
Might have even gained a half a yard on that play, but up to the 12-yard line for Nick Whitler, his 5th, what'll be his 5th keeper of the night. But a certain passing situation here deep in their own side of the field. The Chargers have it 3rd and 9 at about their 12-yard line. And again, it's up to the Cougar defense to try to make a stop right here and force the Chargers to kick. Man wide out to the near side. It's actually a quarterback keeper this time, and maybe the high snap had something to do with that. Whitler hauled it in, but he'll be wrapped up after a minimal gain. Sal Vandermeer in on the stop. He continues to play well on that nose tackle position, but Whitler gets a yard at best up to the 13, and the Chargers will have to punt.
Lamont deep for the Cougars.
Cameron Ogle will try to put a big boot in this one. Rich Lamont standing back still on the Sully Buttes side of the field now, upcoming from the 50, and this one takes a hop and then comes to rest at the Sully Buttes 42-yard line. So nice rush on the line of scrimmage by the Cougars. A fairly short punt for Cameron Ogle of about 29 yards. And Kadoka area will start a possession here on Sully Buttes' 2-yard line. 4:51 to go. We've got left to play here in the first half. And we'll see if Kadoka area goes back to the air or if they try to make some plays happen on the ground. They'll have a deep pitch here, toss sweep. Hudson Johnson sidestepped the first one, but you can't get away from Cameron Ogle on this night. It appears as Ogle runs over Hudson Johnson for a loss of a couple. Back to the 44-yard line.
How many fingers am I holding up?
And so, second down and 12 here for Kadoka area. Moving from right to left. High formation, nobody out wide. Just a five-man line. Hammer back to pass and nowhere to go. Looking down the middle perhaps at Lamont. Or the deep pattern from Kalen Block, but Jesse Shaw gets in there. It'll be the sack. For our standpoint here, probably the first sack of the night. They lost back to the 47. Loss of 3 on the play. But it'll be third down and 15 for Kadoka area. 3:43 to go. 2 wideouts to the right side. Hammer. Short pattern. Oh, my goodness. A huge hit by Morris Hofer to run over Hudson Johnson. Again, Hudson's taken 2 beatings here on this 3-down sequence as the Cougars have gotten pushed back to their own 49-yard line. That's a loss of 4 despite the completed pass. Johnson's 4th catch on the night, but Kadoka area, John Daly going to have to kick this one away. They started on the Charger 42, but the Charger defense, after giving up some yards on the last Kadoka possession, said enough is enough. They pushed him back about 7 or 8 yards here. Daly's kick taken by Whitler on the far side. He'll come back outside the far hash mark, but sizable, decent return across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. So Sully Butte still has 2:50 left to play. In this second quarter, they lead 30-0, and again, starting another possession in the 30s on their own side of the field. We'll call it the 33. 2:50 left in the second period. 14-0 after 1, now 30-0 here in the second. Chargers led 32-0 against Hitchcock-Tulare at the half a week ago. But I think they want a little bit more. Play action. Whitler back to pass, looking long, and Hudson Johnson makes a nice one-handed knockdown play at the Kadoka 45-yard line. Grant Johnson, the intended receiver, was out there going long. Good-looking pass. But again, maybe just a little underthrown. If Whitler could have gotten a little more on that, Grant Johnson catches it in stride and gets a big gain out of it. It'll be 2nd down and 10, though, from the 33-yard line of the Chargers. He'll stay on the ground. Hofer following left guard, but not a big gain. He is up across the 35. Brought down by Tel Vandermeer once again. Tel sees the backfield very well from that right defensive tackle position. Call it the 32, or let's make that the 37-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Hofer and the Sully Butte Chargers. Sully Butte still has 2 timeouts. Should they choose to use them? Looks like they, well, I don't know, but using a lot of time in the huddle here. Back judge now starting his 5-second countdown. Snap comes to Whitler. In the gun, and the ball is out as he takes a hit. Sully Butte will fall on it. Hicks who gets the sack. But Sully Butte gets back there and falls on it. That might have been Jesse Shaw. Just speculation, but all the way back to the 25-yard line, a loss of 12 on the sack. What a play by the Cougar defense. They may be down 30-0, but they're not done. The Chargers will have to kick. Cameron Ogle's 2nd punt of the night. This one much better than the last one. We'll take Lamont back to his own 40-yard line. Mackenzie Weinheimer got down there quickly, forcing Lamont to back away from it, and it'll be downed at the Kadoka 31-yard line. That's good for about 44 yards on that punt from Cameron Ogle. Kadoka area doesn't have a lot of time. 1:15 left to play, and again starting at their own 31-yard line. See if they can get something here before the half. Mount Vernon Plankinton has defeated Lee Deadwood in 11B, 46-0. So the Titans, with just one loss of the season, move on to the semifinals in 11B. Mount Vernon Plankinton beats Stanley County a week ago. Here's a quick slant out to Rich Lamont. Up ahead of the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at about the 33. That's just a 2-yard gain, though. 2nd and 8 from Hammer to Lamont. Hammer with 15 pass attempts on the evening. 2 possessions ago, Kadoka area used the pass to get all the way down to the Sully Buttes 4-yard line, but Nick Whitler picked a pass off at the goal line. And now a fumble out here as it's picked up out of the air by Morris Hofer. Up across the 35-yard line, John Daly got stripped of the ball. It popped right up into the air, and Morris Hofer from the linebacker spot just had it fall right into his mitts. It doesn't get any better than that for a linebacker. In this case, Morris Hofer. That'll be the second turnover here by Kadoka area. This one a big one. It gives Sully Buttes still an opportunity to score one more time here before halftime. 35 seconds left. They still have 2 timeouts left to use. And they'll start at the Kadoka area 25-yard line after a decent return off of the fumble by Hofer. Whitler wants to throw. He has Hofer on the near side. Hofer cuts back into the middle of the field, spins away from Daly, down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, finally brought down by Hicks at the 3. Hofer didn't worry. He knew he had 2 timeouts left. He knew he didn't really necessarily have to get out of bounds. He'll pick up 22 yards. And the Chargers in business, looking for one more score, and then we'll have a timeout here called by the Chargers. Their second charge, 25 seconds left to play. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back. Chargers leading 30-0 with a chance for more. You're listening to the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
There's Thursday Night Lights, all of the weekend highlights too, but nothing beats Monday nights. With Monday Night Football on Venture High Def TV, you'll catch all the action this Monday, October 29th. Tune into ESPN Channel 21 as the New England Patriots head to Buffalo and take on the Bills at 7 o'clock. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for High Def TV service and more. 852-2224.
Everyone at Wilbur Ellis hopes that producers are looking forward to winter wheat seeding. If you're ready for pre-plant burn down or starter fertilizer for your wheat, contact Wilbur Ellis in Blunt, Highmore, or Miller. Delivery is available. Ask about fall prepay on fertilizer and seed with financing available. Wilbur Ellis specializes in soil sampling and can help you take advantage of variable rate seed and fertilizer with Ag Verdict. Wilbur Ellis, ideas to grow with. A proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Back in Oneida, 1st and goal at the 3-yard line as Nick Whitler throws out to the near right side. The pass was tipped by the Cougars, but falling and diving and grabbing and scoring is Grant Johnson just at the goal line with Hudson Johnson in coverage. Boy, Kadoka area snake bitten here in the last couple of minutes in the second quarter. They had a defensive stop, but they fumbled the ball, and here they make a nice defensive play with the tip of the pass, but it's a 3-yard touchdown pass from Nick Whitler to Grant Johnson. 6 for the Chargers, makes it 36-0 with a chance at 2 more. 3-yard pass play here, and now Whitler under center. Will roll out to the left, throw against the grain, and he'll hook up with Cam Ogle for 2 more. So with 20 seconds left in the second quarter, the Chargers up their lead to 38-0, and against the, as we mentioned, snake-bitten Kadoka area Cougars. We're back for a Charger kickoff in 30 seconds. You're listening to the 9B on KGFX.
Best of luck, Sully Buttes Chargers, in today's competition from Oneida Electric in Oneida. Give Oneida Electric a call for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. The summer heat can be sweltering, and we know how cold South Dakota winters can be. For year-round comfort and heating and cooling efficiency, an electric heat pump can save you money. Ask the folks at Oneida Electric about replacing your current system with an electric heat pump. Oneida Electric. Call them at 258-2555. Family owned since 1949.
Fulton's up on Burt, 22-8.5.
Welcome back as
And Timberlake's up 22-6.
Sully Buttes Chargers take a fumble loss by Kadoka area. 2 plays later, a 3-yard touchdown pass despite the Kadoka area defensive tip from Nick Whitler to Grant Johnson. Whitler hooks up with Cameron Ogle for the 2-point conversion. Sully Buttes leads 38-0, just 20 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Lots to talk about when we get to the half. Johnson will kick. Of course, we'll try to get as many scores as we can. Kadoka area with knees on the ground will down it at the 36 on a straight-up kickoff down by Caden Blocks. The Kadoka area will have just a couple of plays here. Well, with a couple of timeouts, could run a couple of plays. And they'll start at their own 36-yard line. 28 games going on tonight. So far, I've got just 2 of them that I don't have at least one early score from. So hopefully we'll get the rest of those a little bit later on. See if Kadoka goes no holds barred. Puts one up in the air. They do not. TJ Hammer will stay on the quarterback sneak. He'll push his way up to the 40-yard line, and Kadoka area looks content to let the clock run out. So a 4-yard gain will bring to an end our first half of play. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, all Sully Buttes. Kadoka area's had a couple of chances to get on the board, but Chargers too strong so far. They lead 38-0. The scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company of Pierre. They're the one place to go, and we'll take a 3-minute timeout. Come back and talk about it. You're listening to the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
When it comes to protecting your diesel engines, we're with you. Less downtime and injector repairs, we're with you. Better fuel economy and power, we're with you there too. With Cenex Fuels from CHS Midwest Cooperative. And whether you're running a fleet or a farm, you'll get unbeatable performance from our unique balance of 7 top quality additives. Looking for tank monitoring so you don't have to worry about running out? Well, we're with you there too. So upgrade to Cenex Premium Diesel from CHS Midwest Cooperative today.
Koenig of Oneida and Pierre has always offered great service to the growers they serve. Koenig focuses on one thing and one thing only, providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. Farm by farm and one customer at a time. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical application, soil sampling, seed sales, or treating, stop in and see an agronomist at Koenig, with offices located in Oneida and Pierre.
Brett Spray Service in Oneida is proud to support the Sully Buttes Chargers in all their school athletics and activities. The staff at Brett Spray Service has served the Oneida area for over 20 years, and they appreciate your continued business. For all of your aerial application and crop spraying, remember to call Brett Spray Service in Oneida at 258-2743. Good luck, Chargers, from your fans at Brett Spray Service in Oneida.
This holiday season, Bank West encourages you to eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percentage rate of just 3% and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
The Corner in Oneida is a proud supporter of Sully Buttes athletics and youth activities. Stop by the Corner on your way out to support the Chargers for all of your C-store needs. Fuel, hot stuffed pizza, roaster chicken, and daily lunch specials, plus snacks, beverages, and everybody's favorite, warm cookies. The crew at the Corner is proud of the hard work and determination our kids show in all of their school activities and wish them good luck in today's performance. From the Corner in Oneida. Need help in your grain risk management? How about getting better prices than the local grain prices? Look no farther than Fearless Grain Marketing. Contact Jeremy Frost today at 605-295-3100. Fearless Grain Marketing, helping producers make sales that make sense while buying fear and selling greed. Fearless Grain Marketing, helping farmers connect directly with end users to make better, higher price sales with offices at 2000 South 4th Street in Oneida and Brown Commodities in Gettysburg.
Back in Oneida as we are at the half, 38-0, all Sully Buttes in this one so far, and Kadoka area had a chance to get on the board the one time, but were picked off at the goal line, and it's been that kind of night. Not only that, but they got a good defensive stop in the tail end of the first half, but a fumble lost and a tipped pass that still turned into a Sully Buttes touchdown, and sometimes that's the way things go for underdog teams when they have to go on the road in the postseason. The Chargers lead it 38-0. You're listening to the 9B quarterfinal on 1060 AM and 107.1 FM. We are KGFX, peer, a member of the Dakota Radio Group. I'm Brian Oakland with Jeff Duncan back in studio, giving us a lot of scores, and we'll get to those as soon as we can here. Chargers started out with an 8-yard scoring drive. They took the opening kick, and 8 plays, 61 yards, 3:13 off the clock. Morris Hofer ran it in from 8 yards out in 2 minutes and 18 seconds into this one. Actually, 3:18 into it. It was 6-0 as the 2-point conversion failed. Kadoka area 3 and outs on their first 3 possessions. So the Chargers' second possession, another 8-play, 61-yard drive that ended with a 20-yard touchdown run up the gut as the Red Sea opened up for Morris Hofer on that one. He tacked on the 2-point conversion as well to make it 14-0. That was our score at the end of the first quarter. Third possession for the Chargers came up roses again. 5 plays, 68 yards in just a minute and 12 seconds. Nick Whitler hit Cameron Ogle over the middle, 23 yards with a pass play. Jordan Shaw tacked on the 2-point conversion to make it 22-0, just 11 seconds into the second quarter. And on the fourth possession, the Chargers made it an even 4 for 4. 3 plays and a 40-yard touchdown pass from Nick Whitler to Morris Hofer, who crossed the goal line for the third time tonight, as Shaw tacked on another 2-point conversion to make it 30-0 with 9:22 left. The Chargers did have to punt in a couple of times on their next 2 possessions. Meanwhile, Kadoka area took a drive at the 33-yard line, down 30-0. Suddenly had to go to the air, and they made some plays. Got a 19-yarder to Richard Lamont. They got a 30-yard completion. I should say 19 yards to Kalen Block. 30 yards to Rich Lamont, at a 12-yarder along the way to John Daly as well. They got all the way down to the 4-yard line, but from there, TJ Hammer wanted to throw one more pass, and he led his receiver a little bit too far. Nick Whitler came sliding on his knees to pick it up off of just off the ground. It was a clean interception that did set the Chargers up at just their 1-yard line. They didn't have very much to do from there. They picked up 1 first down, but punted after that. But again, late in the first half, Sully Buttes was stopped defensively by Kadoka area. They had to punt it away. Kadoka had it on their own 31-yard line, but 2 plays into the possession, ball came out of the midst of the ball carrier into the hands of Morris Hofer. He returned it to the Cougar 25-yard line. The Chargers had a 22-yard pass play down to the 3-yard line, and then Whitler hit Grant Johnson with that tipped 3-yard touchdown pass, and then he hooked up with Ogle again for another 2-point conversion. That made it 38-0 with 20 seconds left, and that is our score here at the half. Chargers are rolling up unofficially 306 yards of offense in that first half of play, 149 on the ground. They've got 59 yards on 8 carries from Morris Hofer, a couple of touchdowns from Mo as well. Nick Whitler has 52 yards on 6 carries. It is Mackenzie Weinheimer, 3 carries for 21 yards, and Jordan Shaw off the bench, 2 carries for 17 yards. Through the air, Whitler is 9 out of 12 for 155 yards and has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Is it 2? Actually, I realized that I didn't write that first one down, so I'm going to have to update the stats to 10 of 13 for 178 yards through the air for Nick Whitler, because he had that 23-yarder to Cameron Ogle. So, 178 through the air. He was sacked once for a loss of 12, so 166 total passing offense, and that'll be unofficially 313 of total offense for the Chargers. Catching passes is Morris Hofer 4 times for 79 yards, has the 40-yard touchdown. Cameron Ogle has the 23-yard touchdown reception as well. His only catch of the night to go along with a couple of two-point conversions, actually. Grant Johnson has 2 grabs for 29 yards. Mackenzie Weinheimer 1 catch, 27 yards. And also Sebastian Frost with a 12-yard grab. Garrett Peterson off the bench with an 8-yard catch as well. Chargers pick up 11 first downs in that first half. 1 penalty was a chop block for 15 yards. Cougars have obviously had a hard time picking up yardage, especially on the ground. 4 yards total. They've got 5 from T.J. Hammer on 3 carries. John Daly 3 yards on 2 carries. Gavin Sudbeck and Hudson Johnson have losses of 2 yards on the night. So 4 yards total rushing, 64 through the air on 8 of 15 passes for T.J. Hammer. He's completed 4 passes to Hudson Johnson for just 1 yard total. John Daly has the 12-yarder. Kalen Block the 19-yarder. Rich Lamont has 2 grabs for 32 yards, and Hammer was sacked once for a loss of 3. So a total of total passing 61 yards. And with 4 rushing yards, gives them 65 on the night. Just 3 first downs for the Cougars, all on the same possession. And they have turned the ball over twice, 1 interception and 1 fumble lost. It is 38-0, Sully Buttes in the lead here as we'll continue at the half. Halftime, by the way, brought to you by CHS Midwest Cooperatives in Pierre and Fort Pierre and Oneida and cities throughout central South Dakota. We'll hear from them, and we've got more. All the scores coming up here at the half of the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in South Dakota are safer than ever before. That's something I really love.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
As one of Valspar's most advanced paint and primer products, Valspar Pristine offers luxurious color, single coat coverage, and an extra advantage, clean science technology. Pristine was specifically engineered to repel dirt and resist stains, so it retains a smooth, clean finish over the years, even after repeated washing and scrubbing. Stop by Fromm's Hardware and Plumbing in Kadoka and see their fine display of new Valspar Pristine paint available in matte, satin, or gloss finish.
You got a lot more going for you with Hank Hardware.
Phillip Health Services, with decades of patient-centered care, continues today and in the future through a hospital, nursing home health care services, clinics in Phillip and Kadoka, physical and sports medicine therapy, and assisted living. Phillip Health Services provides outstanding health services in Phillip and the surrounding area. They're proud to be built on community spirit, starting with funds from Hans P. Peterson, for which the hospital is named. Phillip Health Services wishes the Kadoka Cougars best of luck in tonight's competition.
Good luck, Chargers, from Oahe Grain Corporation in Oneida, your local independently owned and operated grain elevator. At home or in the field, find all the market information you need online at oahegraincorp.com. You can even get bid information by text. Oahe Grain, bringing the world's markets to local farmers with updates every day. For all your grain marketing needs, call Tim or Allen at Oahe Grain in Oneida today, 1-800-658-3654.
Welcome back in Oneida. Welcome back to the CHS Midwest Cooperatives halftime break. It is Sully Buttes leading Kadoka area 38-0. Brian Oakland on the call here, and here are all the scores that we've got for you. Jeff Duncan giving us a lot of them here. As we've got a 38-0 lead again for Sully Buttes, the number 1 seed in 9B. The winner of this game gets the winner of Faulkton area and Burke. Up in Faulkton, it's the Trojans leading Burke 22-8 as they're into the second half. Colome leads Coleman Egan at the half 22-8, and out west, Wall, to my surprise, but good job Wall Eagles as they're shutting out Castlewood at the half 14-0. Castlewood put a mercy rule hurting on the Eagles last year in the same game on pretty much the same night. Up on KMLO FM, Timberlake is leading New Underwood in Class 9A 26-0. If they win that one, they'll get probably Canastota Freeman, who is taking it to Alcester Hudson 38-0. Same score there as what we have here. In Britain, the defending champion Britain Hecla Braves are leading Corsica Stickney. Actually, that game is over. I didn't update it on my sheet, but the final score in that one, Britain Hecla won it by a score of 58-6. So a mercy rule there for the defending champs, and a good one in Warner as Howard leads Warner by the score of 8-6, and they are at the half. In 9AA, Woolsey Wessington, the top seed, leads Irene Wakanda 44-14. Bonham and Gregory are in a 7-6 grudge match down in Tyndall tonight. Kimball Whitelake, our game on KPLO FM, is a good one, and they are leading at Arlington Lake Preston, who is undefeated by the score of 8-0. Wildcats on top there. Also undefeated is Garrettson, and they lead Webster area 21-7. Up to 11B, Canton, the top seed, leading Aberdeen Roncalli 27-0. They're at the half. Another bit of a surprise. Winner is leading at Sioux Falls Christian 6-0. Also a halftime score. Bridgewater Emery Ethan on Star 99 hosting Mobridge Pollock, and the Tigers trail 26-6 in that one as they are at the half. And again, that one on the Dakota Radio Group. Mount Vernon Plankinton has defeated Lee Deadwood as well, 46-0 in 11B. T area is up to a 26-0 lead in 11A over Hot Springs in T tonight. West Central defeated Todd County 49-8. Madison having a tough time with Dell Rapids in the 2-7 game, 13-0 Bulldogs there. And a fun one down in North Sioux City. Dakota Valley leading St. Thomas More by the score of 25-23. Actually, Dakota Valley now up 32-23 as they are a little later into the third quarter in that one. St. Thomas More keeping that game closer than I thought they would. The Pierre Governors are moving on into the semifinals of 11AA. They have defeated Spearfish tonight 54-14. Mitchell and Brookings, the winner of this game, gets the Governors in Pierre next Friday night on River 92.7. Nothing decided there yet. They are actually scoreless at the half. They played a 21-14 game, won by Mitchell way back, I think, in week 2. Yankton is being surprised a little bit by Sturgis, as Sturgis is leading Yankton 15-14. I'll tell you what, you talk about an upset special. There's your what could be the upset of the night, but there could be another one in 11AA. Huron is leading Harrisburg in Harrisburg. Make that 14-0. Huron defeated Harrisburg during the season 14-0 with 2 defensive touchdowns. And finally in 11 AAA, top seed Sioux Falls Roosevelt leads Aberdeen Central 55-14. Sioux Falls Washington leads Watertown 20-0. And Sioux Falls O'Gorman having no trouble with Lincoln 55-14. Brandon Valley, who ripped Sioux Falls O'Gorman a week ago, is now leading Rapid City Central 47-8. The Lynx are playing some of their best football of the season, it would appear. That'll do it for all the scores. That pretty much does it for our CHS Midwest Cooperatives halftime break. T area, by the way, updated 33-0, leading Hot Springs. And we'll continue to keep you updated on the scores. We're going to be going with our second half kickoff here momentarily. Want to remind you also, volleyball action kicks off next week as the Sully Buttes Chargers will be the 2 seed in Region 2B. They will play the winner of Highmore Herald and Sunshine Bible Academy match to be played in Highmore on Monday night. And we may be covering some of that 2B on KGFX and or KMLO. Lynn's Dakota Mart opening kick is underway, and the Cougars receiving. And a decent return up the far hash mark across the 35-yard line, close to about the 39, as Grant Johnson in on the stop. So, again, the opening kick of the second half, like the opening kick of the game, sponsored by Lynn's Dakota Mart stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Kadoka area, by the way, speaking of volleyball, has a great opportunity, one of the top 2 seeds in Region 7B. I think they are the top seed, in fact, ahead of Phillip. And Kadoka area will start region play next week as well. And hopefully they have a good path perhaps through the region and maybe to that round of 16. But here we go in the second half. TJ Hammer right away is picked off by Cameron Ogle. The pass floated a little bit. Ogle picks it off outside the 40-yard line. He takes it up the far side of the field to the 30 and close to the 25. It looks like maybe the 26-yard line. So Ogle, who is having himself a night, picks off TJ Hammer on the first pass play, the first play period of the second half. And the Chargers will lead 38-0. We'll have a short field to play on at the Cougar 26-yard line. Ogle had no trouble running under that one. Hammer just did not get enough on that pass at all. So Nick Whitler's under center. They go to the ground. Morris Hofert leading the way, but a good ankle tackle here by Gavin DeVries. And DeVries will stop Hofer for a short gain, maybe 1 yard to the 25-yard line. Hofer again with 59 in the first half. Now we'll give him 60 on the game. First minute gone by here in the second half. The Chargers led 14-0 at the end of one, but scored 3 more times, including on a short field after a fumble recovery out of the air. It's from which they went in for 25 yards just before halftime. Coming on the blitz, Whitler's got to unload. He has Ogle in the middle of the field. Probably was setting up for that bubble screen anyway. If not, that's some pretty good recognition between Whitler and Ogle. But DeVries, for the second time tonight, comes on that all-out blitz. It's about 5 yards down to the 20-yard line. Play was pretty much blown up, but again, Ogle grabs it for 5, and it'll be 3rd and 5 with 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Sometimes in high school football, this is the night when you really get the best games, but you still get a lot of these 1-8 games and some others that are still going to be mercy rule games, but not saying this one is as of yet. We've got movement here before the snap this time. And it should be a false start. And Louis Young will say, false start, Sully Buttes. That's just the second penalty against the Chargers tonight. Kadoka area has been penalized only once as well, and that was on one of the first couple plays of the game, if I recall. So 5 yards against the Chargers will push them back to the 25. 3rd and 5 becomes 3rd and 10. And again, the Chargers lead by 35 plus. Actually, the first time we'll make mention of that. That means a continuously running clock here in the second half. So it made that last final minute touchdown in the end of the first half maybe a little more important. Now it's Kadoka area who jumps, and I believe Gavin DeVries coming on the right defensive end was he drawn off? It looks like he jumped with a flinch to the Chargers. So back-to-back false starts, and the Chargers may be losing a little bit of focus here. Marked back to the 30-yard line. And suddenly, 3rd and 15. It was just 3rd and 5 a moment ago. Another score coming in. Woolsey Wessington leading Irene Wakanda in 9AA, 64-28. Here's another screen in the middle as Ogle has it. He breaks a couple of tackles near side, and he's in for the score. Cameron Ogle just having one of those nights. He refuses to be stopped, and even though a couple of false start penalties push the Chargers back, no big deal as it turns out. It'll be a 30-yard touchdown from Nick Whitler to Cameron Ogle. Ogle broke a couple of tackles along the way, but I'll tell you what, for 215, Ogle, he plays bigger than 215, but he runs a lot faster than 215 as well. So the Chargers lead 44-0 with 8:45 left to go in the third. And Whitler will come under center for the two-point conversion attempt. I formation with Hope for the deep man. He'll take it. And, boy, that offensive line just pushed every single D lineman back into the goal line. An easy walk-in here for Morris Hofer. So the updated score, Chargers 46, Kadoka area nothing. We're back for the kick. In 1 minute, you're listening to the 9B quarter on KGFX.
People's Market in Kadoka is your locally owned associated wholesale grocery store in the Midwest. Stop in anytime to People's Market for all of your grocery items, including fresh cut meats, produce, and cold beverages of your choice. Look for their weekly specials and new items throughout the store. People's Market in Kadoka has proudly served the community for over 70 years, and they wish the Kadoka Cougars good luck in all of their school activities.
With convenient mobile text banking from Sunrise Bank, it's easier than ever to manage your money right where you are. Using just your message feature on your mobile phone, you can quickly check your account balances and review your transaction history. See how easy it is to keep up with your finances on the go. Sunrise Bank Dakota is a proud sponsor of Sully Buttes Athletics and Activities and wish the Chargers good luck in today's competition. Sunrise Bank Dakota in Oneida, member FDIC.
Back in Oneida, Cameron Ogle interception set the Chargers up at the Kadoka area 26-yard line. 3 plays and a couple of penalties later, Ogle with another grab of the offensive variety. It was a 30-yard touchdown grab. On the pass from Nick Whitler, Morris Hofer tacked on the 2-point conversion. Chargers lead 46-0. The Grant Johnson squib kick is picked up by one of the deep men for the Cougars. And it was Richard Lamont up across the 30, but Kadoka area will have it as we have 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, the clock running continuously. The Chargers up by more than 35 points here in the second half. Starting at the 34 for Kadoka area. Still would like to see Kadoka try to get some plays made through the air. Obviously, they've shown the ability, but the Charger defense just a little too much on most occasions here tonight. And had a delay for one of the Charger D linemen to maybe tie a shoe. We're ready to go. Back to the double wing come the Cougars. It's a fullback straight ahead dive and a big hit here by Jesse Shaw in on the stop, but Ogle with another big hit. It'll be a yard for the ball carrier up to the 35-yard line. Again, the ground offense for the Cougars is they just haven't had the time nor the ability to open up the holes, let alone run through them. Hammer wants to throw. He's over the middle. Bass is wobbling a little bit. Looks like the Chargers caught in front of this one, and it is a takeaway. Those are beanbags, I think, that are thrown instead of flags, and it'll be a Sebastian Frost interception. Officials were throwing things to the ground, and they kind of look like flags at first, but they just signal change of possession. So a second straight interception thrown here in the second half by TJ Hammer, and Sully Buttes will take over with 7:14 left in the third quarter. They've got it on their own side of the field, but still good field position at the 41-yard line. So Sebastian Frost with an interception. Following Cameron Ogle and Nick Whitler's lead, they've got picks from earlier tonight. Morris Hofer had a kind of a pick of a fumble out of the air. Hofer takes the handoff. No, this is, I believe, Weinheimer. Or is it Mackenzie Weinheimer up the far seam? From right to left, the Chargers moving here in the third quarter. From the 41 to the 49, 8 yards for Mackenzie Weinheimer. And again, I think the offensive line starting to take over here for Sully Buttes. We mentioned on that last 2-point conversion where they pushed the Kadoka D-line all the way into the end zone. Well, they're pushing them back 5 yards at a time here, and Weinheimer with an easy 8-yard carry. Chargers are going to take a timeout here. One final in from 11 AAA. Could have been the game of the night, or could have been the upset of the night, but Yankton wins it over Sturgis 23-22. Quite a game, and Winter and Sioux Falls Christian are tied at 6 in the third in 11B. 6:33 to go. We're in the third. Chargers lead 46-0. We're back in 1 minute. The 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
At Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, they know farmers don't all have the same game plan. That's why they give farmers options, from what brand of seed they want to use to what features they want on their grain trailer. Barber Chemicals also provides custom spraying for ag chemicals and fertilizers, finding the best solution for your fields. Team up with the best. Barber Farm Service and Barber Chemicals in Oneida, a proud sponsor of Sully Butte Sports. Call 258-2708 or come see them under the big water tower south of Oneida.
Virtually anything in your house or building that can run on electricity can run on propane. However, a propane-fueled home is less costly to operate than an electric home. Studies have shown that propane is cheaper, warmer, cleaner, safer, and more dependable than electric. Contact Stewart & Daughters in Oneida at 258-2647 today to learn more about the benefits of propane. Stewart & Daughters, a proud sponsor of high school sports and the Sully Butte Chargers.
Back in Oneida out of the timeout, it was 2nd and 2, but a straight-ahead dive of the fullback, Mackenzie Weinheimer, who will pick up the first down into Kadoka area territory. We'll give 5 to the MAC, this time to the 46. And Weinheimer's 5th carry of the evening. He'll pick up about 31 yards to this point. Whitler wants to throw on first down here. Has a man, Garrett Peterson, who makes the grab at the 40-yard line, turns up the near sideline to the 35 and close to the 30. Lamont will run him out of bounds. And it looks like they'll spot him to the 31-yard line. 15 yards from Whitler to Garrett Peterson, who catches his second pass of the night.
Up on Gregory,
14-12, 14-12, a good score, good game there in 9AA with Bonham leading Gregory, the two-time defending champions. In 9AA, the Cougars will show blitz, and DeVries will come 1 or 2 steps too far across the line of scrimmage. I don't think he was induced this time. It'll be penalty number 2 against the Cougars, and 5 yards to the advantage of the Chargers. Chargers are in a position right now, 1st and 5 at their own 26, with a 46-0 lead. If they do score a touchdown, this game will come to an end by virtue of the 50-point mercy rule. Whitler keeps it on the ground, actually keeps it himself on the run-pass option, has it, sidesteps a man inside the 20 to the 15, and then out of bounds at about the 13-yard line by T.J. Hammer. Whitler down to the 13 as a pickup of 13 or so. It'll be first down for the Chargers into the red zone. 4:20 left in the continuously running clock here in the third quarter. And Sully Buttes has picked off 2 passes here. The first one to set up 1 touchdown to put them up 46-0. The second one, the ensuing possession, still ongoing. Pass on the slant coming in. Whitler has Grant Johnson, and he sidesteps one man inside the 5-yard line up the middle of the field. Touchdown Chargers, and that'll bring it in to this 9B quarterfinal as the Sully Buttes Chargers will defeat Kadoka area by the score of 52-0. The Chargers, the top seed, improved to 10-0. Kadoka area played, I'll tell you what, they played valiantly tonight. They played as valiantly as anybody could. I think their last few ball games with all the injured players had a spirited win a week ago, but they ran into the Sully Buttes buzzsaw tonight. And the Chargers get the win. Kadoka area season comes to an end at 5-5. But I tell you what, a virtual pat on the back to every one of those guys for the way they fought tonight. 52-0 our final. We'll get to a post game in 3 minutes, and we'll give you another recap of the second half, add up the stats, and we'll give you all the scores and set up next week's action. Friday night, the Chargers against either Burke or Faulkton area. It'll come here on KGFX. Back in 3 minutes for the post game.
Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil are proud sponsors of the Kadoka Cougars and all of their school activities. Discount Fuel is open 24 hours a day and is located right off the interstate for your convenience. Discount Fuel has everything you need, like hot stuffed pizzas and an extensive line of hot foods like chicken, burgers, and their famous gizzards. Owned and operated locally by Mark and Tammy Carlson, Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil have proudly served the Kadoka area since 1980, and they'd like to say thanks to their customers and friends. Discount Fuel and Kadoka Oil.
Colson Farms of Blunt proudly sponsors this broadcast of the Sully Buttes Chargers. High school athletics and activities are about learning life values, such as perseverance, commitment, and teamwork. Success travels in the company of very hard work, and it shows with the Chargers. Colson Farms wishes the Sully Buttes athletes the best of luck in your competition. In for the win, Chargers.
The Blue Goose in Oneida is proud to be a sponsor of Sully Buttes High School and youth activities. The Sully Buttes Chargers' discipline and hard work shows on the field, on the court, and in their organizations. Best of luck to the Chargers in their competition tonight from your fans at the Blue Goose. Don't forget to stop at the Goose after the game. Meet your friends for a cold beverage and pizza. Everybody at the Blue Goose says good luck, Chargers. Touchdown, Chargers!
First impressions mean a lot. A nice, healthy smile makes a great first impression. Dr. Pat Hermanson and Dr. Brent Swenson are masters of the healthy smile. They offer family dentistry in a warm, relaxed, patient-friendly office at 433 South Central in Pierre. New patients are always welcome. Call Dr. Pat Hermanson or Dr. Brent Swenson for an appointment at 224-5966, 224-5966, located at 433 South Central in Pierre. There's Thursday Night Lights, all of the weekend highlights too, but nothing beats Monday nights. With Monday Night Football on Venture High Def TV, you'll catch all the action this Monday, October 29th. Tune into ESPN Channel 21 as the New England Patriots head to Buffalo and take on the Bills at 7 o'clock. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for High Def TV service and more. 852-2224.
Everyone at Wilbur Ellis hopes that producers are looking forward to winter wheat seeding. If you're ready for pre-plant burn down or starter fertilizer for your wheat, contact Wilbur Ellis in Blunt, Highmore, or Miller. Delivery is available. Ask about fall prepay on fertilizer and seed with financing available. Wilbur Ellis specializes in soil sampling and can help you take advantage of variable rate seed and fertilizer with Ag Verdict. Wilbur Ellis, ideas to grow with. A proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Now Sully Buttes looking like, the team that with the big goal of getting back to the Dakota Dome, and they came out and scored on their first 4 possessions of the night. A couple of touchdown runs by Morris Hofer from 8 and 20 yards out. A couple of touchdown passes from Nick Whitler. One to Cameron Ogle from 23 yards. One to Morris Hofer from 40 yards out. And the Chargers led 30 to nothing at the time, and then very late in the end of the first half, after a fumble loss by Kadoka area, it was a 3-yard touchdown pass from Whitler to Grant Johnson, and the 2-point conversion again making it 38 to nothing. That's where we started at the half. Kadoka area had the second half kickoff, and they started their first possession at the 39-yard line. First pass of the second half, though, was picked off by Cameron Ogle, who returned it all the way to the Cougar 26-yard line. 3 plays later, and despite a couple of false start penalties by the Chargers, who got pushed back to the 30, Ogle caught another one, this time from his own quarterback, a 30-yard touchdown catch and receive. Or pitch and catch, shall we say, from Whitler to Ogle. Morris Hofer tacked on the 2-point conversion. That made it 46 to nothing with 8:45 to go in the third. And again, the clock was running continuously from the get-go in this second half of play. Kadoka area started their ensuing possession from their own 34-yard line. They got a 1-yard run to the 35, but then the second play of the drive was also picked off, this time by Sebastian Frost, as TJ Hammer went on a go route, I believe to Richard Lamont, but threw it into double coverage. Frost had the under route and was able to take it away. Sully Buttes started their final possession from their own 41-yard line. It ends up going 5 plays and 59 yards, taking 3 minutes and 14 seconds of continuously running clock, and it was culminated with a Nick Whitler to Grant Johnson 13-yard touchdown pass that made our Mercy Rule final 52 to nothing. Again, as the Chargers stay unbeaten at 10-0. They will take on probably Faulkton area. Faulkton has opened up a 30-8 lead on Burke up in Faulkton, and that game's still going on. We'll still look at the all the scores coming up in a little bit. Of course, in our post game, we have our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game coming up as well. And the way this one went, really not going to be a tough decision, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. The stats for the Chargers: 340 yards of total offense, 166 on the ground. Morris Hofer goes for, actually Nick Whitler, the leading rusher, 65 yards on 7 carries. Hofer gets 60 yards on 9 carries. It was Mackenzie Weinheimer, 5 carries for 31 yards. Jordan Shaw, 2 carries for 17 yards, 166 on the ground for the purple and gold. Meanwhile, Nick Whitler, I tell you what, I think if people are watching, if teams are going to be trying to find a way to beat this team as they continue in the postseason, they're going to have to stop Nick Whitler in his passing game as well. Tonight, 13 out of 16, 226 yards, 4 more touchdowns for Nick Whitler. That's as many as he had last week as well. He was sacked once for a loss of 12 yards for 214 yards of total offense. He has 214 and 166, 340 of total offense. But a lot of passes being caught tonight. Morris Hofer catches 4 for 79 yards, a 40-yard touchdown included. Cameron Ogle, 3 catches, 58 yards, had touchdowns of 23 and 30 yards. And 42 yards from Grant Johnson, who had had 2 touchdown grabs as well. Actually, he had 45 yards. I didn't write that 3-yarder down, but 45 yards on 4 catches for Grant Johnson, couple of scores, and also 1 grab from Mackenzie Weinheimer, 27 yards. Garrett Peterson had 2 catches for 23 yards. Sebastian Frost with a 12-yard grab also had an interception in this one. But again, I'm going to update one more time. Nick Whitler, 14 of 17, 229, and 4 touchdowns through the air. And the Chargers roll up 343 yards of total offense. For Kadoka area, meanwhile, and again, it was the ground game that obviously was going to be, you try to establish a little bit of things with the running game, but that Sully Butte's defense just had too much to say about that. Kadoka area just 5 yards unofficially on 8 carries tonight. As T.J. Hammer, John Daly, Gavin Sudbeck, Hudson Johnson unable to find ground to gain. But T.J. Hammer looked pretty good throwing the football, especially on one drive in that second quarter. Got him all the way down to the 4-yard line. Kids were catching passes. Hammer does go 8 of 17 for 64 yards. He threw the interception at the goal line, which actually was just I think a jumped route more or less by Nick Whitler, who caught it sliding on his knees. There were 3 picks thrown by Hammer. Both of his passes in the second half were taken away by the Chargers as well. But Hudson Johnson catches 4 passes tonight. Richard Lamont had 2 catches, including a 30-yarder. Kalen Block had a 19-yarder. John Daly had a 12-yard grab as well. But 4 turnovers for the Cougars, just 3 first downs picked up in this game. They did have 64 yards of passing offense and 69 yards. Nope. Oh, what are we looking at? 61 yards of total passing offense and 66 total yards in the game. Still plenty more to come. We've got our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game. Let's take another 3-minute break, and we're back with more of our post game, and we'll tell you who the player of this one is after you hear this. This is the 9B quarterfinal on KGFX.
Best of luck, Sully Butte's Chargers, in today's competition from Oneida Electric in Oneida. Give Oneida Electric a call for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. The summer heat can be sweltering, and we know how cold South Dakota winters can be. For year-round comfort and heating and cooling efficiency, an electric heat pump can save you money. Ask the folks at Oneida Electric about replacing your current system with an electric heat pump. Oneida Electric. Call them at 258-2555. Family owned since 1949.
Koenig of Oneida and Pierre has always offered great service to the growers they serve. Koenig focuses on one thing and one thing only, providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. Farm by farm and one customer at a time. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical application, soil sampling, seed sales, or treating, stop in and see an agronomist at Koenig, with offices located in Oneida and Pierre.
Brett Spray Service in Oneida is proud to support the Sully Buttes Chargers in all their school athletics and activities. The staff at Brett Spray Service has served the Oneida area for over 20 years, and they appreciate your continued business. For all of your aerial application and crop spraying, remember to call Brett Spray Service in Oneida at 258-2743. Good luck, Chargers, from your fans at Brett Spray Service in Oneida.
This holiday season, Bank West encourages you to eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percentage rate of just 3% and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
The Corner in Oneida is a proud supporter of Sully Buttes athletics and youth activities. Stop by the Corner on your way out to support the Chargers for all of your C-store needs. Fuel, hot stuffed pizza, roaster chicken, and daily lunch specials. Plus snacks, beverages, and everybody's favorite, warm cookies. The crew at the Corner is proud of the hard work and determination our kids show in all of their school activities and wish them good luck in today's performance. From the Corner in Oneida.
As one of Valspar's most advanced paint and primer products, Valspar Pristine offers luxurious color, single coat coverage, and an extra advantage, clean science technology. Pristine was specifically engineered to repel dirt and resist stains, so it retains a smooth, clean finish over the years, even after repeated washing and scrubbing. Stop by Fromm's Hardware and Plumbing in Kadoka and see their fine display of new Valspar Pristine paint available in matte, satin, or gloss finish.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in South Dakota are safer than ever before. And that's something I really love.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators
Phillip Health
Association.
Services, with decades of patient-centered care, continues today and in the future through a hospital, nursing home, home health care services, clinics in Phillip and Kadoka, physical and sports medicine therapy, and assisted living. Phillip Health Services provides outstanding health services in Phillip and the surrounding area. They're proud to be built on community spirit, starting with funds from Hans P. Peterson, for which the hospital is named. Phillip Health Services wishes the Kadoka Cougars best of luck in tonight's competition.
Back one more time to Oneida here as the Chargers defeat Kadoka area 52-0 by the Mercy rule tonight. And we've got one order of business to take care of in our post-game show. It is the naming of tonight's game, a player of the game, as always brought to you by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. We'll hear from Bauman and we'll do the honors with the T-shirt hardware when we come back with more from the 9B post-game.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials at affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Bauman Lumber once again, and as always, sponsoring our player of the game tonight. You could look at, really, I think on defense, I was impressed by Kadoka area. Gavin DeVries, Tel Vandermeer made a lot of stops tonight, and really had to because Sully Buttes, once that offensive line started wearing down that defensive line, it was up to the linebackers and the defensive backs who were making a lot of the stops, but props to those two guys, especially on the defensive line. for Kadoka area as they tried to play as tough of a defensive effort as they possibly could. But again, Sully Butte's just too good on this night, as it turns out. But looking at the Charger effort, you're looking at Nick Whitler, 14 of 17. First of all, you look at that throwing percentage. Then you got 229 yards. Then you got 4 touchdowns. It's another good game, obviously, for Nick Whitler, who also ran for 65 yards. Put him on your fantasy team if you don't have him already. Morris Hofer had 3 touchdowns tonight with 60 yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, had a receiving touchdown of 40 yards, and a team-high 79 yards through the air as well. But tonight, the guy who stood out the most, both offensively and defensively, making stops, picking passes off, catching 2-point conversions, catching 2 touchdowns as well, is the tight end and the middle linebacker, Cameron Ogle, who just played just a complete game all around, just was unstoppable in this game. Cameron Ogle, an easy choice for Bauman Lumber Player of the Game this evening as he helps his team move into the semifinals of Class 9B against either Burke or Faulkton next Friday night. All the scores still to come momentarily. So Cameron Ogle, our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game, sponsored by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Kadoka area, as we mentioned, comes to an end. Their season 5-5. As they look ahead now to their volleyball team, who has some good opportunities to make some things happen in their postgame. They'll be the top seed in Region 7B. Good luck to the Lady Cougars, and if they make it to the state tournament, certainly look for us to help follow them along and probably cover them on one of the stations of the Dakota Radio Group. We would love to have that opportunity. Same for the Sully Buttes Lady Chargers, who will have a quarterfinal Region 2B matchup on Tuesday night, and they'll play either Highmore Herald or Sunshine Bible Academy, who will play in Highmore in a first-round game on Monday night. We'll I'm hoping to have some Region 2B coverage on a couple of stations, if hopefully this one, but maybe KMLO as well of the Dakota Radio Group. Stay tuned for more. All right, one final look at all of the scores that we've got for you. 28 games, and we start here again in 9B, 52-0. Sully Buttes defeating Kadoka area. Faulkton area had opened up a 30-8 lead over Burke, so it looks like Faulkton area probably will be the team that comes here for, and we'll assume that to be a 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night here on KGFX. We'll have it for you. Also, Colomb was leading Coleman Egan at the half, 22-8. Wall and Castlewood have put some points on the board now in the second half, 14-12. As Castlewood has 12 unanswered. That one not over yet. Timberlake is in 9A, the top seed. They're opening it up against New Underwood. They lead 30-6. Canastota Freeman led at the half over Alcester Hudson 30-8. Britton Hecla has defeated Corsica Stickney 58-6. And I didn't get anything further, but 8-6. Howard was leading at Warner. That game was at the half. Told you there'd be a lot of points in Woolsey tonight. Woolsey Wessington scores 78, and Mercy rules Irene Wakanda 78-28. Bonham and Gregory, one of the games of the night. The Cavaliers lead the Gorillas 14-12 in that one. Have a good one going on as well. An area team on KPLO-FM. Kimball White Lake is now leading Arlington Lake Preston 22-0. The Badgers are undefeated this year. The Wildcats looking to pull what could be an upset, but boy, Kimball White Lake's 3 losses this year, certainly nothing to sneeze at, as we might have a semifinal after all coming up on KPLO next week if that one stays that way. Garrettson is now leading Webster area 28-21 in a good ball game. Blue Dragons still unbeaten this year. Up to 11B, Canton is a 40-0 leader over Aberdeen Roncalli. Sioux Falls Christian now leads Winter 14-12 in the second half. Bridgewater Emory Ethan defeated Mobridge Pollock 47-6. That went final just a little bit ago. And Mount Vernon Plankinson has defeated Lee Deadwood 46-0. T area was leading Hot Springs in 11A 26-0. West Central defeated Todd County 49-8. It was Madison over Del Rapids 13-0 at the half. Dakota Valley over St. Thomas More 32-23. The Pierre Governors win tonight 54-14. They defeat Spearfish, and they'll play either Mitchell or Brookings. Brookings with 5 minutes to go in that one leads Mitchell. Brookings leading 10-7 at the Dike in Brookings, and Yankton I tell you what, they avoid a major upset. Yankton scores in the end, and they defeat Sturgis tonight 23-22. Valiant effort by the Scoopers in that one. And Huron playing well again. They're leading Harrisburg 20-7 that game in the fourth quarter. And in 11 AAA, Sioux Falls Roosevelt beats Aberdeen tonight 55-14. Washington was leading Watertown 20-0. O'Gorman was leading Lincoln 55-14 at last check, and Brandon Valley had a 47-8 lead on Rapid City Central. So there we're all caught up. Quick updated. Faulkton has defeated Burke. Now the final score, 36-15. So it'll be Faulkton area in Sully Buttes, probably at 7 o'clock next Saturday night. And also Howard has defeated Warner 8-6 in Warner. Bit of an upset there, but Howard also very, very good. It's a fun night, and we've got another one coming up next Friday night. Hope you can join us for Faulkton area and Sully Buttes here on KGFX. Our thanks to the score master, Jeff Duncan, back in studio, and to all of our sponsors making this game a possibility, as our coverage of the 9B quarterfinal has been made possible by Phillip Health Service, Discount Fuel by the People's Market, and by Fromm's Hardware Hank. Tonight's game also sponsored by Bank West of Oneida, Brett Spray Service, Cone Ag, Oneida Electric, and Wilbur Ellis, by Venture Communications, Drs. Hermanson and Swenson Dental, the Blue Goose, Colson Farms, Fearless Grain Marketing, Stewart and Daughters, Barber Chemical and Barber Farm Service, by Sunrise Bank Dakota, the Corner Convenience Store in Oahe Grain, with announcements throughout from the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Tonight's game brought to you within the game by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who reminds you to avoid a kiss with death and plan a designated driver every time out. And on your way to and from the games or any time, it is better unread than dead, and they also remind you not to veer for deer. Slow down and stay alert on your way home from the games. From the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. In-game also sponsored by the Boyd Consemius Agency, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Peoria. One place to go on your final Wagner Auto scoreboard. Sully Buttes 52, Kadoka area nothing. I'm Brian Oakland, KGFX Sports. Have a great evening and a great weekend, everybody.